and video from satellites, astronauts, and so on and so forth
Listen,
from up high. One moment,
hasn't,
you all said that there's no way that we can reproduce that. That's what y'all said. So I said, I want to challenge that premise. I said, let's challenge that right now. And I asked y'all, I said, if a flat earther sent the device up high enough to see it, would that be proof? Y'all said y'all have to see it. I said, and you said, and one of y'all said it could be because of the lens. And I said, well, what if this flat earther, or what if the situation was they had one video that was a curved lens and one video that was a regular lens to show the difference and prove? And I believe somebody said, let's see it. So let's stick with this one point. Why are we changing to the ground now? We haven't done this yet. So let's first look at 2054.
You've kind of
talking about.
Well, hang on, Daryl. I have to interject here seriously because you're interjecting, and I haven't even got my question out.
No. It's actually me who has not gotten mine out. Y'all asked me for proof, and I'm trying to present the proof. But now you're trying to talk about stuff from the ground level. Let's stick to one thing at a time. Let's finish this one thing first. Let me finish presenting my proof.
I wanted to know where your cognitive abilities were right now. And by that, I mean,
that doesn't matter. We're talking about a video. We're talking about video evidence that y'all asked me to prevent.
Okay, let me play moderator for a second.
Video.
1 second there, 1 second there, and Ranty, please. I think, because Ranty is about to get out of here very soon, maybe you can just kind of diverge your questioning for 1 second. Just play along with him for 1 minute, just a little thought experiment, and then you can go back and talk to Red about the pictures of space. I think it's fair.
One question. If you have a visibility of 16 miles, if you're in a location and you have a visibility of 16 miles, and you do a 360, you turn 360.
All right, guys, this is what I'm seeing. Y'all asked me to present evidence, and now you want to talk about these theoretical stuff. I will come back when you want to talk about the evidence. You asked me to present evidence. I'm trying to present the evidence, and you want to talk about this. It don't make sense. So it's just like I think B. Brawler said, or somebody said, y'all just don't want to deal with the facts. I'm about to go. I could go watch a movie. When y'all want to look at the evidence, y'all ask me
you about to rage quit right now?
Yes, I'm about to quit because y'all asked me to present evidence.
Wait. He just asked you if he could ask you a question because he's about to leave.
I said I want to present the evidence. That's what I said.
You said okay.
You said okay.
Okay, then I misspoke. That was my mistake. I want to. Maybe I thought it was some kind of brief thing. He's talking about this.
It is a brief thing.
All that stuff doesn't matter. My logic and reasoning doesn't matter when we talk about.
Wait. Is the video going somewhere? Is it going anywhere?
Yes, it is.
You can't give Ranty 2 minutes to ask you his question, and then we can move on to the video. I don't understand why you're acting like that right now, bro.
This is what I'm observing, which is I've observed several times talking with flat earthers. You asked me to talk about one thing, and I start talking about it, and then you change the subject.
All right, hang on a second. Hang on, guys. Hang on.
When y'all are willing, y'all said present the proof. I'm trying to go. When y'all willing to look at it, let me know.
Let's go. Let's just let Daryl present his thing. So Daryl, you send me that link. Okay, I'm gonna put it up here right now.
Right, Chris, I'll let you handle this. I mean, we all know where this was going, yeah? And it was a field of view. However, you guys track on.
So like I said, it was 2 points I wanted to see. And actually, I was a bit off on the time. It's actually 2 hours, 20 minutes, and 50 seconds.
2 hours, 20 minutes, and 50 seconds. 50 seconds. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you're telling me that this is a flat earther providing visual.
Right?
I'm just reconfirming what you said it is. Providing visual proof that the Earth is correct.
That is correct.
Okay, I'm gonna play here on my screen. What's his altitude?
A little bit farther in the video, and we can see it ourselves. So let's listen to 2:20 and 50, and it only takes like a minute for him to finish.
Oh, he's gonna speak it or something.
That's right, and then back in the video and see it out.
Right, and is there a part where he actually has the footage on screen, the curve?
It's on the same video. It's all in the same video.
But give me the timestamp.
Well, first, like I said, there's two. Let's do this part first.
Okay, so what? I gotta listen to this guy talk now for a minute.
It's only like It's only like a minute.
Who cares what he says? Why don't we just talk to? Why don't we just look at the footage?
Because I want to confirm that y'all are hearing a flat earther himself say he saw curve.
All right,
on his
enough.
video.
Gotcha. Okay.
So God, is that the best you've got?
Did y'all get that? So let's scroll back a bit farther into the video.
Here's the thing. What I'm gonna do is, here's the thing I want to do, Ranty, and I'm just gonna go ahead and tell Daryl what I'm gonna do is, I'm just gonna ask him why Neil deGrasse Tyson says you can't see curvature from 128,000
Again, you're changing the subject.
So no, that's fine. No, we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that.
All of that doesn't matter. I know. Let me finish with one point.
Okay, I'm gonna play it right now.
He saw curvature.
That's great.
We heard him say he saw curvature.
I got it.
Let's go back a little bit farther.
I'm gonna play it right now, so all my viewers can see it. So 2 hours, 20 minutes, and 50 seconds. I start playing.
50 seconds. You hear the flat earther say he saw curvature.
All right, here I go.
In this same video, let's go back a little bit farther. And really, you could just do it yourself.
Okay, I'm gonna play it, but I'm gonna play it. Hey, I'm gonna play it, but I need like a couple seconds of silence from you, bro.
Yeah, do your thing. Go ahead and find it. For instance, 1 minute and 50 seconds. 1 hour and 52 minutes. I meant to say. It's pretty high. You can see the curvature. Try 1 hour and 52 minutes.
Do you know how many times I have said this?
Listen, my viewers are listening live, so if everyone just be quiet so I can play the video so they can hear it. So just give me a minute. Okay, I'm going to play it right now. Here I go.
About this footage?
Holy shit.
Obviously by now, if you believe in the globe, you're quite happy to have seen curvature in a lot of this footage, even from the 7.2mm lens. If you believe the Earth is flat, you're probably denying that you did see curve. Well, when I saw this footage, I gotta be honest, I couldn't deny that I did see some curvature. That was naturally quite frustrating for us, but Victor, while not being a flat earther, was frustrated for a different reason. Like us, he questioned the footage just as we did, but for a different reason. He saw sometimes
Let me know when he finished hearing that part, by the way.
Curved, and sometimes it was flat. There did appear to be some distortion.
I honestly, the bottom footage, that's the non-distorted lens.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like if you go to like 150, 152, when I say 150, I mean 1 hour 50, 1 hour 52, 1 hour 53.
And what happens there? That's the actual footage, right?
Yes, the actual footage. That's his video.
Gotcha. 100,000 feet. Okay. Press and play.
Of course, maybe it was because he thought it was mellow yellow. But it was yellow, but it wasn't so mellow.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna talk strictly about the visual appearance of the blue haziness in that bottom video, there does appear to be a slight curve to it. But number one, I mean, this is far from conclusive. And number two, I really have to wonder what effects take place in a lens with light coming in from that height. Because people have done, for example, there's this new globe proof now that all the globers love to use. They go up to like 700 feet altitude, but they in a drone, and they get like a picture of the horizon, and then they go to Photoshop and they squeeze the image together from left to right, so it's all compacted and compressed. And then lo and behold, you can see a slight curve there. And they say that's the actual curve of the Earth. You just can't notice it at 700 feet altitude because it's so subtle. But if you squish it together, it exaggerates it. The problem with that is that Jeranism, I'm sure you've heard of Jeran, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Jeranism just took a picture of his kitchen table, a flat level kitchen table. In fact, he took pictures of multiple things. He squeezed the picture of the flat, straight kitchen table together, and what happens? You see bend in a flat table that's only 6 feet tall, 6 feet long. So I really have to wonder what effect curved lenses, because cameras, that's part of the structure of the inner workings of the camera. There's curvature, just like the human eyeball. There's curve on the back of your eyeball. You may not like it, but there's curve. I mean, that light is landing at the back of your eye on a curve. All I know is Jeran has done a practical example, flat kitchen table, squeeze the image together, and it produces a curve. What is going on there? I don't know the details, but I do know that if you can make a flat kitchen table look slightly curved by squishing it together, then there's something inherent in the mechanisms or the workings of the camera that generates this artifact. That's what I would say.
So what it sounds like you're saying is no video evidence would be worthwhile because you'll keep saying it's still something with
No, what
with
I'm
the
saying
lenses.
is
That's what I'm hearing.
we have to be skeptics, and we have to be skeptics, and we have to actually analyze things, and we have to stick to the science. That's what we got to
So
do.
to
We
make
got
sure
to
I'm
stick with the
understanding
science.
properly, you're saying that this video where you said yourself, or one of y'all, I'm still learning y'all's voices, right? But
It's
one
all
of you
right.
said that you can see a curvature, slight
Daryl,
as it may be.
how many globe earthers have said that they can actually see further than they
Well,
actually
let me
should
make sure
from
I
the
Exactly.
understand.
globe?
I'm
Exactly.
still talking about this
Literally.
one thing. I'm
You're
still talking
cherry
about the
picking.
evidence y'all asked me to
You're
Exactly.
present.
cherry picking.
And
This is
I'm
that is
still
one
talking
thing.
about this one
And
thing that
Daryl,
y'all asked me to
okay.
present.
And
I'm just trying to make sure I
Daryl,
understand.
all right, Daryl, and that's good. And you know, we'll still talk about this, but I will have to say, if there is an exception to the rule where this guy captured a very hard to tell curvature in a hazy, distant quote horizon, then you have to also know that there are cases where people look out here down on Earth, down on the ground, right here around us, where they look out over long distances and things that should be hidden by Earth's curvature aren't hidden. I mean, you do know that that happens sometimes,
All right.
right?
So again, you're changing the subject again. I want to talk
That's
about this one
okay,
evidence
fine.
here.
That's fine. Okay, all I'm
Right.
saying is
So
we're gonna get to this next part, is what I'm saying. We're gonna get to this next part about things that should be disappearing bottom up but are not. So we'll get to that because we're gonna stick with yours first because you presented it first. That's cool. But what we're gonna get to now, what I'm telling you is this might show some curvature, but we also have on the ground footage that shows zero curvature. So what Ranty is trying to say is in many ways, this all the other evidences that people have gathered kind of cancels out this one little GoPro with a non-fisheye lens in a hazy ass horizon where you can barely even see what's going on there. But what do you have to say about the kitchen table looking curved when you compress the image from left to right, even though it's a flat table? What do you think about that?
well, I have to say this. I've seen, so referring back to the same video and referring to that, I've actually seen uh, videos or experiments where people have squished the image and so I understand what you're talking about. And people have also done it with fisheye lenses that actually uh, 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 you know causes curvature. But this is one thing I noticed: if the straight line is directly in the center of the even on those type of lenses, if the straight line is directly in the center, that straight line won't curve if it's directly in the center. In other words, you have to be offset from the center of the lens for that to happen. That's one thing.
Exactly.
Now this thing here, if you look at this video, you can see that the camera is rocking up and down. So there's times when the curve of the Earth is above the center. There's times when the curve is below the center. There's times when the curve is directly in the center because it's going up and down. So I've looked at this video several times. I've paused it at different points to put screens in my video. I don't see any point where in the bottom video I could discern some kind of distortion above or below. Whether above or below or in the middle, there's curve. Now, you talked about how at ground level you see no curvature basically, and I'm still talking about this same video. It's simple. The Earth is huge. It's huge.
Wait, but I didn't
So
make it.
the closer you
I
are,
didn't hang on. I didn't make that as an argument. Let me just be clear. I
okay,
understand.
I'm just going to address
I
it.
understand that
I'm
on
just
the
going to
globe.
address it though.
I
It
understand
was
that.
said,
Right,
so I want to
right. But
address it.
that's
It's fine.
like that. Right, but that's a garbage argument that I don't think anybody here would
Well,
ever use because it's just retarded.
well,
It still has a
whatever the case
mathematical
is, it
drop.
was said, so I want to address it.
It
So
still has a
the Earth is
mathematical.
huge.
No,
The Earth is
Daryl, it's
huge.
still. What the hell's your problem? Why do you keep speaking when I try to speak?
I was actually answering the question. I was actually
No
Right.
responding
one asked
to
that
what y'all
question
So
telling
though.
me.
it
So
Nobody
this is
asked
literally
what
that
has.
question.
It
Nobody
has
asked
a
that question though,
mathematical.
Daryl. No one
Right.
asked that
y'all asked
question.
me to present evidence, and then he asked me, "What do you have to say about the table?" He asked me specifically, the table with the lens
When I
curving.
first
What do you have
started,
to say about it? Was I not asked about that?
But wait,
what's
I
what
the
is
was
the
field of
asked,
table?
"What
view?
What is
about the
the
table?
table? What
What
is
do you
the
have to say
table?
about that?"
What
Hang
is a
on, but what
field of
does the
view?
table have to do with how
Why the
high,
fuck?
how
It's
big
not.
the
It's
Earth is?
I just explained it. I
No,
said
you
if you
didn't.
look at even a fisheye lens, if the straight line is in the center of the lens, it will not have a distortion.
Okay,
And
but
then I went
that
back to the video and
okay.
related it to that
No one
and
denies
talked
that.
about how the curve is above, below, or in the
No,
center.
okay, no one
And
hears
then I
that.
went back to that same analogy of so close you don't see a curvature and was backing it up, saying the Earth is huge. If you're close to the Earth, the curve is barely noticeable, and the farther away you get, the greater the curve is.
Right.
So if you on the planet, you can't see the curve.
Okay.
If you that high, you can see a slight curve. You're on the satellite,
Chris,
like
can
the
you give me a
ISS,
minute
you see a
here right
bigger
now?
curve. You on
this is a prime example of you giving them evidence. You giving them evidence, and they're just gonna hand wave it away and deny it. That's a prime example.
That's what you Globers do.
So,
that's what you Globers do.
So, but
Chris, can you give me a minute here?
Go ahead, Ranty. Go ahead.
Right. Okay, guys, listen to me, right? Because Daryl, I've never come across you before. Bull for life, I've never come across you before. I just want to ask you some simple questions, right? So we're looking at a balloon launcher, and it has an image of the Earth, right? So how much of that Earth would you say it's capturing in each individual frame? As a percentage, you know, you've got 360 degrees.
Very small amount, I would say. Less than the ISS, I'm sure. So the ISS, I believe, only gets what?
Okay, so
this is a small amount. If I was to say percentage-wise, what? Maybe 5%, 10%. I'm not really sure, but it's a small amount, I'm sure.
So let me rephrase my question. How much of the pan is it showing?
How much of the what?
The panoramic. So if you've got a 360 panoramic, what percentage of that 360 is each frame showing? I mean, if I was a guessing man, I would say about a third.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure there's a formula that can calculate it according to the height of the balloon and so on and so forth. If I was to guess, I don't know, like one. I can't really say, man. I don't really know. I know it's a small amount.
So if you had a visibility limit to how far you could actually see, and you was able to look 16 miles one way, 16 miles the next, 16, and you was to do a 360, what would happen? Would it be a square, or would it be a circle?
Well, why are we talking about this? What if you have a visibility limit?
No. Listen. This is my question. This is what I'm leading up to. So you've got a field of view. You can see 16 miles to the north. You can see 16 miles to the east, to the west, and to the south. So if you plot that on a map, if you put it on a map and you do it, you 16 miles this, and this, are you seeing it in a square, or are you seeing it in a circular?
Oh, I understand what you're saying. I understand your question now. So let's say if I'm on a flat plane and I'm high enough to where I can see around myself, what shape would it take?
Yes.
It would take a circle, yes.
Okay, so if you are seeing from this altitude balloon footage, and you are seeing 1/3 of this field of view, so you're seeing 120 degrees, right? So you're seeing 1/3 of this, right? What shape, if you squished it, would it show? Would it show flat, or would it show some kind of curvature?
Oh, it would show curve.
Yes. I rest my case.
Yeah, but
that's good enough for you, then good.
If the Earth was, if it was flat, why would it just stop out of nowhere? It would be like 50% of ground and 50% of sky everywhere you looked. It would never just stop.
I mean, there's no really point in arguing. Like, what they would have to do, I understand his logic there, but they would have to explain why the farther away we get, the more the curve is seen, until eventually you get to the Hammurabi 8 and you see the full Earth. So if that was the only evidence we had, I could certainly see standing on that, but you'd have to take everything into account. So this is what I noticed flat earthers do. You take one little thing and you stand on that, and then you try to change the subject and talk about something else, which is why I put that forth in the beginning. I said when you're close to the Earth, it looks flat. You get a bit farther away, like this balloon here, you see a slight curve. You get to the ISS, you see a bigger curve. You get to the Hammurabi 8, you see the full curve. You look at the Hammurabi 8, it's like every 10 minutes or so, it matches the weather on the planet, so on and so forth. So
yeah, Himawari is a hoax.
Again, you have to prove that. You talking about me. I presented evidence.
Yeah,
what is your evidence that Hammurabi is a hoax?
Yeah,
so let's go there next.
Somebody went into the somebody went into the metadata of
No. I want you to present it right now. Like, I presented the evidence. Y'all challenged me to present which evidence you have of
Okay,
a curve. I said
I'll pull the
pictures.
video up.
You said sure. Yeah,
I'll
let's
pull
look at
it
it.
up for you. Give me a second here. You guys can chat amongst yourselves. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's just look. The Earth is flat, dude. There's nothing you can do about it, bro.
I mean, I believe that people in Australia use the Himawari AF for their weather. So where the hell did they get that from?
Guys, I want to say hello to Nathan Thompson. What's up, brother?
Yeah, hey, brother.
Oh God.
Hey, man. Nice to talk, bro.
Yeah, we're here to talk about
Nathan?
science, and people are still talking about the ISS and the Himawari. That is
where's your null hypothesis? Where's your null hypothesis?
Hang on, wait a minute.
Oh.
David
Why
Weiss
are they
David,
mocking science? So
Chris, wait, Chris. David Weiss is in the chat. DRTLH, he wants a link, I believe.
Okay, let me see here. Does he want a link or does he want to just mod?
No, he wants a link. He definitely said link.
Ugh. All right, yeah, because everybody wants in. Bob, the freaking science guy, wants in. I don't know if I should, because Bob's he's such a pointless troll. Like, I don't even know if I should let him in. He's such a troll. He's Bob, the pseudoscience guy. He's such an idiot. Hey, Bob.
No, I think DITRH wanted you to make him a mod so he can post the link.
Yeah,
he wants a link.
Right. Well, actually, yeah.
I could be wrong, but that's what I read.
It's a private link today, so yeah. What was I doing? Okay, I need Himawari. Let me pull that up.
What's good, Nathan? How you doing, brother?
I'm good. It's good to see all you guys in here, dude. I love you guys on this freaking fight for truth, I appreciate you.
Big shout out to Nathan Thompson. He's the only person I have met in real life since I came across this flat earth corner of the YouTube. He's the only person that I have met in real life. That's cool. Yeah. Shout out to you, Nathan. Jose knows the truth. Jose knows the truth.
So yes, Daryl, we're still waiting for proof of the globe. I think we conclusively debunked your last proof. So have you got another one?
So let's go back now. You just said you conclusively debunked it, and he didn't even finish.
No,
let's stop.
Debunked it.
No, let's stop.
When you said that we see a field of view that is a circle.
I gave you your point. I gave you your point. And I said that only focuses on one small thing. I said I also mentioned the fact that when you're close to the Earth, it looks straight. When you get a bit farther away like this balloon, it's more curved. When you get a bit farther like the ISS, you can see more of the curve. When you get to the Himawari 8, it's a full curve. Then one of y'all
Neil
said,
deGrasse Tyson,
one of y'all said Himawari 8 is a hoax. And I said, prove that's a hoax.
Oh yeah, I just gave you the link. Hey, Daryl, I just gave you the link. Daryl, I just gave you the link in the side chat. Himawari.
Well, we didn't talk about it yet. He's saying it's conclusive, and we didn't even talk about that. So this is my. Well, you can see how y'all just jump to conclusions.
Wait, hang on. Daryl, there's no point in talking about it because I can't even present the video to you. Like, you're not going to be able to hear it. You need to click it yourself, and you need to watch it. I can't do a fucking slideshow presentation for you here, man. You got to click it. You got to watch it.
I didn't see it posted.
I just
talk amongst yourselves while I find it. I was just waiting for y'all to find it, and then he was saying it was conclusive. So if you posted it before he said that, I apologize. I didn't load it.
And Daryl, I got to ask you though. So the world's most popular astrophysicist, Neil Tyson, he got it wrong when he said you can't see Earth curve from 128,000 feet. It was flat.
Y'all talking about you're changing the subject again. Why can't we stick to the one thing?
No. This is about your first proof. This is about your first proof.
What I asked was,
it's just so funny how
Himawari 8 is a hoax. That's what we're talking about now. We're not talking about whatever that scientist's name. We're talking about proving Himawari 8 is a hoax. I haven't watched the video yet.
All right. Well, I just sent it to
you. We can't talk about something else. Watch the video. Let me watch it. Now,
all right.
I already apologized.
And in the meantime,
I didn't see the link. I apologize.
All right. And in the meantime, that's fine. And then in the meantime, I'm gonna play for my viewers video of Neil Tyson saying you can't see Earth curve from 128,000 feet. That stuff is flat.
Okay, give me a moment. I'll read this 7 minutes of proving that the Himawari 8 is a hoax.
Yeah, the Himawari 8 is a complete hoax.
You'll believe him when he says that, but you won't believe him when he says the Earth is not fucking flat.
Well, you don't understand what a consensus contradiction is. You guys are too stupid.
Okay, so I'm about to listen right now. By the way, I'll check.
That's the best Globers have. Well, you don't. Well, if he thinks it's a sphere, then you have to believe that too. No, it's called pointing out a consensus contradiction. It's really simple stuff, man. Really simple.
And I understand y'all gonna keep talking, and which is cool. Let me, because I want to be able to hear this video and see it. So what I'll do, just so y'all know, if y'all talk to me in a moment, like I want to be able to hear y'all, I'll see if I can find a way to mute the Hangout, and then I'll just watch this video and be right back. So just give me a moment to figure this out, because I got my headset on, so I got to keep my headsets on to hear the video. Just give me a moment. Okay, so I'm about to mute this speaker here, and I'll listen to this video. So if you talk to me, I want to be able to hear you. Okay.
That's all good.
Yeah. It's probably just a bunch of nonsense rhetoric, of course.
Chris, can I say something real quick?
It's not even my Hangout. It's not my Hangout, so you guys can say whatever you want.
Right on. It's like they want us to give proof that Himawari is not real. Guys, all the pictures from space are fake. They're all cartoons.
By the way, I still can't find a way to mute this.
Yet we can predict the weather with those pictures.
This is what I'll do. I'll take my headset off and watch it by myself.
You can predict the weather.
Have you ever watched The Weatherman?
They even researched the Himawari.
Photo of Earth. It's a cartoon.
Like,
Where do they get the data from? Where does Australia get their weather from?
Hey, B-Ball for life. Have you heard of electrodynamic tethers?
No, I haven't.
Research.
Tell me about it.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Yeah,
I want to learn. I want you to make me a flat earther. So go, make me a flat earther.
Well, you're gonna have to go outside and look around. I don't think I can convince you here in the chat.
I mean, I am. It looks flat. Yeah,
it's measurably flat. It's measurably flat. You got any lasers? Any infrared technology? You got anything?
No, you tell me. You school me. I want to be a flat earther. I want to be like you. I want 120,000 subscribers on Facebook.
They don't subscribe to me. They're members of the official Flat Earth and Globe discussion. They're researching the shape of the Earth, not Nathan Thompson.
It's called science.
That's what I want to be. I want to be in your group. So convince me.
Well, you can be in my group. Just think for yourself. Don't make dogmatic claims. Don't insult people, and don't curse.
I'm not. I want you to convince me that the Earth is flat.
Yeah, but before you can ever possibly consider the Earth being flat, you have to put down your atheist religion. You will never be a flat earther if you don't put down your atheism. That's step number one.
Okay.
Well, I disagree with that, Chris, just based on this. B-Ball for life. You already said it looks flat.
It does.
So you have the burden of proof. You're gonna have to convince everyone it's a ball that spins and orbits the sun and flies around the universe at 20 million miles a day.
Hey, B-Ball, you didn't deny that you were an atheist. So was I right? Are you an atheist?
Do I believe in God? I mean, the Bible was written by man. So
are you an atheist? That's a simple question. Are you an atheist? Simple question. Are you an atheist?
No, I'm not an atheist.
So then what are you?
I mean, I believe there's some kind of creator. Is his name God? Is his name Jesus? I don't know.
Okay, fair enough.
A lot of people call him something different.
Okay, fair enough. So you're like an agnostic kind of person?
It could be Buddha. It could be freaking, I don't know.
Okay, fair enough. So are you fundamentally opposed to the Earth being flat?
Am I opposed to being flat?
Yeah, is there just something deep in your bones that says, God, I can just never accept. If it was flat, I just can't accept. It's just too crazy.
The problem is there's so many things that say it's not. There's so many. Like the fact that we can see, we can't see the sun at nighttime. The sun's not a spotlight.
Yeah, that's just so easily debunked.
We can't see the sun. I mean,
okay, ball for life, right? So if I have a torch and you and I we go out on the night and we go on the moor somewhere. And I walk
and you walk far away?
No. Listen, yeah. And I'm flashing the torch at you, yeah. And at some point, there will come a point where you can no longer see the torch.
Yeah, the sun's not a torch. It's a lot brighter than that.
Who cares? I'm asking you
a lot brighter.
Is there a point where you can't see the torch?
The sun,
is there a point where you can't see the torch?
The torch is a tiny little light. Of course, after a while, I wouldn't see it.
Yes, thank you.
Of course, after a while. But the sun's not a torch. The sun's a hell of a lot brighter than a torch.
How do you know what the sun
is? I can see it right now.
Have you been there?
Can you? Where are you located?
Have you been to the sun?
Where are you located right now? Can you see the sun right now?
No. Listen to me. Have you been?
No. That's stupid.
Right.
No, I haven't been
exactly,
to the sun.
Exactly. So do you know what the sun is?
Do I know what it is?
Yes.
No, but there's some smart people out there that can.
Is it tangible?
There's people
can you go and feel it?
There's people that are a
lot
smarter than I am.
So you're believing other people.
Do you?
Do you believe you a question?
Do I believe? Yeah, there's a lot of people. Do I believe in other people?
No.
It depends on what they're trying to tell me.
No.
It depends. It depends on what they're trying to tell me.
No. You don't get away with it this easy. You don't get away with this easy. Do you believe that the sun is tangible?
Do I? Yeah, I do.
Can you prove it?
Can I prove it? No,
Yes.
I'm not a scientist.
Exactly. So
I'm not a scientist.
So
but can you prove? But can you prove that it's not? But can you prove that it's not?
No, I'm asking you. The burden
of proof. No, you've asked your question. No, you've asked your question. Now let me ask you. Can you prove that it's not what you say it is?
Is on you.
No.
You tell us what the environment is and how we live.
Can somebody mute their background page if you just joined? Please mute the background video. Thank you.
So the burden of proof is on the globe, not on the flat Earth. So we are testing this presupposition that you can actually touch.
No. You guys are challenging the model. Okay, so the burden of proof's on you.
It's not a model.
Nope. The burden of proof is on the globe. The burden of proof is on the globe. Sorry.
Exactly.
We've already. The globe has already been established.
Nothing.
No, sorry. That is an appeal to consensus, appeal to authority.
Oh, here we go. Here we go with the fallacies.
No, fallacy is a part of debating. Dude.
Oh, here we go with the fallacy.
Sorry, dude. Not my fault. Not my fault. You're fallacious.
The necessary antecedent. Oh, your favorite word.
The burden of proof is kind of on both sides. It's on both sides of burden of proof.
Yeah, you know what? I wouldn't say that, no, because the Earth is obviously unobservably flat.
No. The burden of proof is on both sides.
By the way, who are you? Like, where'd you come from?
Why would it be on the flat Earth side to provide proof?
Why wouldn't it be on the flat Earth side?
No,
it'd be on both sides.
No.
The starting point is flat.
You've got to prove it.
I'm pretty sure. Listen, I'm pretty sure where you're at right now, it's dark, right? It's dark. It's probably midnight where you're at. It's probably the middle of the night, right?
You're affirming the consequence.
Why would it be in the middle of the night?
Answer the question. Wherever you're at, it's probably dark, right?
No, it's not.
Night and day work just fine on a flat Earth. You're affirming the consequence. It's not an argument.
Here we go with these fallacies. Is it dark where you're at right now?
That's what we.
No.
Yes, it is. We agree. There's night and day.
Okay. Well, guess what? Where I'm at, it's 4:51 p.m. and I can see the sun. Where you're at, you can't see the sun. Why is that?
Bro, that's so easily explained on a flat Earth model. You're crazy. In fact, it's easier to explain that on a flat Earth model than on your crazy spinning spaceball model. Your crazy spinning spaceball model. Your crazy spinning spaceball model requires me to believe that I'm currently upside down, stuck to the other side of the globe.
Why would the sun ever? Why would the sun ever
set? Both models are pretty crazy, really. Both models are pretty crazy.
Perspective. The same reason you can't see all the airplanes in the sky, and the same reason that the northern pole star goes towards the horizon as you go towards the sun.
Okay, the northern pole star. Okay, so what about the southern pole stars?
That's a begging the question fallacy. We have not established there's a southern pole star.
Yes, there is. Of course, there is.
Have you taken time lapses of the alleged southern pole star?
Have I? No, but guess what? I can.
Okay, well, why don't you?
I will. And I think it's been done.
I think your argument is null and void right now. So
I think it's been done hundreds of times.
Because listen to me. Because you don't have the proof and you're relying on somebody else. Literally, your argument is null and void right now.
But Ranty, he thinks it's been done.
He thinks exactly. He has a belief. It's all a belief. Everything is a belief.
Great argument. No, guys, I don't have any evidence. I think it's been done.
Literally, I'm going to step out right now. You guys, I mean, seriously, these globe heads right now that are in the channel right now, they haven't got the vaguest idea about what the proof is.
The fact that we have northern pole star and southern crux is you guys can't beat that. There can't be it can't be a flat Earth. It can't be.
I have a question for you. Do they navigate using the southern crux, or is it just the northern pole star?
You can use both.
Oh, really? Can you show me an almanac that includes the southern pole star, them navigating, assuming it's stationary?
No, I'm in my car right now, bro. I can't do that. But there is an almanac that you can. There is an almanac.
Do you have nautical almanacs, and what year are they for?
I don't know. But the fact that it exists, the fact that you know that it exists, I think you're lying to yourself.
You know that it moves, and it's not analogous to the northern pole star because it's not. You can't see it everywhere south of the equator the same way you can see the northern pole star anywhere north of the equator.
So why can't? Okay, so you say we can't see it. Why can't we see Polaris from Australia?
Of course, that's very simple. It's the same reason you can't see all the airplanes in the sky right now. It's called perspective. Anything above your head that goes away from you approaches the horizon.
Why would
those lines converge until they reach the horizon? Then they diverge, and you can't see them anymore.
So parallel lines intersect now? I didn't know that.
What does navigating by the stars got to do with anything?
You ever looked at a railroad
or a flat? How before GPS did sailors cruise around Australia?
Of course, they use a sextant, and then they assume the northern pole star stationary.
They assumed it.
They didn't.
I just did an interview an hour ago with a gentleman. I just did an interview.
They didn't use the northern pole star south of the equator. It's impossible.
Right, they can't use the northern pole star because it's too far away. So I just had an interview an hour ago with a gentleman who works in Antarctica.
On a flat Earth. On a flat Earth.
Yeah, you've never heard of basic perspective, dude. Come on, man.
Yeah, so I just had an interview with a gentleman who works in Antarctica, and he says they don't use latitude and longitude lines when they get down there to navigate. They use graphs and grids.
Yeah, I came here to talk to you about that, Nathan. I saw that video, and that guy was a really good guest. Now, what struck me is he said they used a grid pattern because the longitude lines are so compressed.
It's a circle.
So close together that
exactly
they're not useful. So let's not leave that important part out, okay, Nathan?
Guiding by the stars doesn't prove anything. It doesn't prove. Guiding by the stars does not prove anything.
Crickets.
Stars are just an observation, guys. Not scientifically proving anything.
There's just nothing to say to utter stupidity. That's the problem.
Well, utter stupidity. The burden of proof is on both sides, guys. Both sides. You need.
Well, no, I mean, actually, it really isn't. It's actually more on the globe side.
No, actually, it is red. It is red. It's
on
both sides.
No. The Earth is obviously and observably flat and stationary, bro.
If you make a claim, you need proof. You make a claim, you need proof.
Do you walk out?
Yeah, but dude, flat Earth is not a claim. That's an observation.
It's like a default. It's like a starting point.
I'm standing outside and I'm observing a flat Earth, and I don't feel movement. So obviously it's flat. Obviously
and
it's
everything
not
looks
moving.
like it's revolving.
And somebody comes up to me and tells me, "Hey, you're spinning at 1,000 miles per hour, right?"
You tell them they're fucking crazy.
What's your point to me, Nathan? What's your point to me?
Burden of proof, man. It's on you guys, not us.
Yep.
No, the burden of proof is on both sides.
It rotates.
No. If somebody's trying to tell me that I'm spinning at 1,000 miles per hour, that's a claim. Okay? Even your old man just said, it looks flat. Okay. It looks flat to me too. So now you're going to claim to me that looking flat is actually curvature?
Yep.
Can it be measured flat? I mean, it looks flat, but can it be measured flat?
But hang on, Jose.
Can it be measured curved?
Yes,
can it be measured curved?
Yeah, and not just that, but let's be honest, guys. Even if you're a glober, you can't deny that the Earth looks flat and feels stationary, and everything looks like it's revolving around us. That's the starting point. I mean, even the globers will admit it. Even the freaking cosmology textbooks in college will admit that.
Anything, Red. It's got nothing to do with anything. Looks.
Here. I'm gonna pull out a college textbook. Listen, I'm gonna go get a college textbook. I'll be back in a minute. I'm gonna go get a college textbook that says the Earth looks and feels stationary and flat. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Wait, Bandsaw, are you going to disagree that every morning you walk out of your house and observe what looks like a flat, stationary Earth?
What's that got to do with anything, Nathan? Seriously, what's it got to do with when I go in my backyard?
Also, it's a flat earther.
Here, Right? Yeah, exactly. Right. When I walk out of my my backyard, me looking at something does not prove. We're talking proof here, guys. The burden of proof. The burden of proof is on both sides.
The burden of proof is on you.
Okay, so we both we both.
No, it's not.
So nobody on Earth.
Chucky, one sec.
Ranty. Be honest.
Right. Listen. Yeah. So everybody right now, sitting, if they got a piece of cotton and tried to thread it through the eye of a needle, right? Everything apparently is traveling at 1,000 miles an hour, yeah? Right?
Yep.
So you try and thread that needle, right? At 1,000 miles an hour. So from the flat earthers' point of view is that everything is stationary, we're not moving, yeah? The globers, say that we're moving. So it's up to you to say that we're moving. It's not up to us because we experience.
Have you ever opened a physics?
Just let me finish, right? We all experience right now that we're not moving. Every single person in this world right now knows that we're not moving, right? You guys are telling us that we're moving. Prove it.
But hang on, let me jump in real quick. I got the college textbook in my hand. This is the Cosmic Perspective college textbook.
Can you hear me now?
And he's gonna cherry pick.
Hang on. No, it's not cherry picking. It's just quoting. You
morons,
you desperate people are now conflating quoting with cherry picking. It's pathetic. Okay. The Cosmic Perspective, 4th edition college textbook. Now, here we go. Let's talk about burden of proof. This is literally the first chapter, the first page, and it says, if you observe the sky carefully, you can see why most of our ancestors believed that the heavens revolved about a stationary Earth. The sun, moon, planets, and stars appear to circle around our sky each day, and we cannot feel the constant motion of Earth as it rotates on its axis and orbits the sun. It therefore seems quite natural to assume that we live in an Earth-centered or geocentric universe. Even the fucking college textbooks that teach your heliocentric religion, even they tell you that the Earth looks and feels flat, stationary, and geocentric.
Read the rest of the chapter.
Hang on.
Read the rest of the chapter. Read the entire chapter.
No. This is your guys'. This is your guys' mentally ill thing where you guys think that quoting is cherry picking. Cherry picking, if anything, means taking something out of context. We're talking specifically about the burden of proof and who has it. As a matter of experience. Even your own side says it looks and feels flat, geocentric, and stationary. So we're talking about burden of proof here.
Seriously, guys.
It's simple.
You're not being honest.
You're not being honest.
Yourself.
You're being retarded.
I'm being 100% honest, actually. No, I'm not being retarded, mate.
You are retarded.
No, I'm not being fucking retarded.
You are retarded.
Hey, Chris, let me go. I'm going to chat with him real quick, okay?
Yeah.
Hey, guys, real quick. We're talking about the stars and everything. Part of my presentation and my debate with Mick West, I talked about archaeoastronomy and how the ancestors have understood phenomena in the sky, and they use these phenomena to build giant megalithic structures. We're talking about the cults, the Celts, the Phoenicians, the Babylonians, the Chaldeans, the Egyptians built the pyramids according to Orion's belt, and then you have Pueblo Bonito, which is 1,120 rooms, 650 are traditionally regarded as subterranean ceremonial chambers. And then you have the United States Geological Survey. Look this up, it's 250 pages. Over half of it says we use flat earth maps. And then they also admit that they use flat earth maps for the polar aspect and ellipsoidal form of maps in Antarctica. So guys, this is all flat earth. You live on a flat earth. You just deny it. And then they sextant. They use the star and celestial navigate. There is no parallax. Look at the star trails, perfect circles, guys. This is a joke. There's no curve. Water's a natural level. Take a look at a specular reflection in the incident light.
There you go, spitballing. One at a time, 1 point at a time, Nathan. You're going ahead of.
And before we continue, guys, and I apologize.
Guys, you don't have anything to say. I've already done hundreds of debates, guys.
But how many points you got to get here? 20? You want to get through all of them and then take the floor for how long?
One at a time.
Cool. We'll just leave it on this one. Neil deGrasse Tyson says that stuff's flat. Nobody's ever seen the curve. You've never seen the curve. It's not in airplanes. It's not in high altitude balloons. It's just a hallucination that globe earthers have. Go ahead, guys.
Neil said it looks flat.
And if I may, guys, you know, I have to take a moment to look at that video. Are we ready to go back to the Hammurabi 8?
All right, go for it.
So I got a question for Nathan. Nathan brought up the guy that worked
rude.
in Antarctica. Now, what about the 24 hours?
You heard this guy was just about to ask a question, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he just watched.
Like, are you kidding?
Daryl was the first person in here, and he was the one that was just about to.
Yeah, dude. Like, relax.
Go
ahead, Daryl. Fuck.
So, I watched the video, and the first thing the guy talked about was that he pulled up this FTP that showed basically projections of weather patterns, and it seemed like he was saying that they take these projections of weather patterns and put this on an image of the globe to make it look like, and that's where they get the weather patterns for the Hammurabi 8. Is that correct?
Yeah, the essence of the video is that they found like metadata on the website for the Himawari, which showed all types of weird composites, layers, cutouts of all the continents, cutouts of all the oceans, cutouts of a perfect circle with a black background, basically a bunch of layering. There was even a reference to the official NASA blue marble image in the metadata. Basically just layers and layers of composites that suggest that what you think is an actual real picture of Earth from space with the Himawari is most probably just a composite layering of information compiled from different sources. Including including meteorological data, which can be taken from Doppler and all these systems that are all integrated. So really easy to fake real-time weather on a spinning CGI spaceball. Easy as fuck.
So you're saying that. So that's how they're making the weather patterns match. Now, this is the thing.
Easy.
2 questions. First of all, I tried to pull up the websites he was linking. That's one reason why I took a little while. I couldn't pull it up. First of all, who can show me how to actually pull it up so that I can see the images myself, because I'm interested in that actually. And 2, I hear you saying even yourself, you didn't give a definite. You said most probably or could be or something. Where's the proof that they're actually doing that? Because I can say people could be doing anything. I can say people could be, you know, making the image of anything. So first of all, where's your proof that they're actually doing that? And 2, how can I pull up these websites myself so I can see these links myself?
Okay, well, let me double check.
Also, hold on. Also, how are they faking the cloud images and everything? And then there's a guy in Australia there's a guy. Listen,
guys, you've never heard. You guys have never heard of him.
He's got it. Listen, hold on, man. Hold on.
We don't want to do the same thing to them. I accused them earlier of changing the subject and not letting me answer. So let's let them answer. No, he didn't get a chance yet. I asked him a question, and he was about to give me an answer. So I asked him.
I'm gonna make it real quick. Okay. So wait, you're looking. Hang on. I'll make it real quick. So you're looking for the website so you can check the metadata yourself. That's what you said.
That's one, and the second one, proof that they're actually doing that. So
first of all, number one, I'm pretty sure they mentioned the website in the video. They mentioned the website, so I'm pretty sure you can go. Number 2, this was like a year and a half.
Let's stop there. On that one point, what I'm saying is, and maybe I said it too quick. I apologize. What I said was I tried to pull it up myself. It was not working.
But what did you actually went to the website?
I tried. What I'm saying is, I looked at the video.
And what are you saying? The website doesn't.
I typed in what I saw in the video, and it was not pulling anything up for me.
Did you even get to the website?
And I apologize. One site I was able to go to. The site that says NESDIS NOAA.gov.
Yeah, that's the link I sent him. But
I don't see where that relates to the Hammurabi 8, and I'm not able to pull up the FTP site he had.
Looks like the website. Yeah, the website is ftp.nnvl.noaa.gov. That's the one, right?
Yes. Would you? Maybe I'm just typing it wrong because it's on my.
Well, here's the thing. These videos were circulating. All this stuff was circulating like a year and a half, maybe even 2 years ago. So you think it's still just sitting around there after people pointed it out and it's been circulating for a year and a half? It's very possible that it's not there.
It's gone now.
What I'm saying is, you're gonna have to put some faith in the screenshot.
So now I have to take your word for it. Is what's going on now.
Well, you know, there's all.
We have to take your word that the Himawari is nothing.
Exactly, we have to take a word that the Himawari is real. So there you go.
No. In
But-
other words, you're saying I have to take somebody's word. If I can't pull this up myself because it's gone now, because they're onto us and they deleted it, now I have to just take the word. Y'all telling me that NASA and all of them is lying. They putting these images together, but I'm not supposed to in any way believe that this flat earther guy is lying and just threw that site together and say this is the FTP. But guess what? It's gone now. So you're asking me to accept his word, right?
Daryl.
But you're not going to accept my word or NASA's word. So that's a problem. That's not
well,
science.
you know what that leaves us? That leaves us at a stalemate, and so that's basically.
So that means that's not proof. That means you did not debunk him.
Well,
so we still at that point.
So we're both at square one. Is what you're saying?
No, we're not at square one.
We don't trust your stuff, and you don't trust our stuff. Okay, no one's proved anything.
We could do a standstill for
but
that,
as the college textbooks say, the Earth is obviously observably flat.
But we agree that you did not debunk Hammurabi 8 because we can't find that because that's not there anymore.
It's not empirical, Daryl. It's not science. None of us have the Himawari.
Well then, so that means that who was it earlier? That means Ranty has to take back earlier when he said we've absolutely debunked that when we didn't even start the point yet. Y'all admit that the evidence is not there anymore. The so-called evidence.
Shout out to TIG Logan and everybody in the chat.
You did not absolutely debunk the point I made. The point I made earlier was that's the balloon image.
Field of view.
We know when we on the Earth is straighter and the balloon is more curved and the ISS is even more curved. Hammurabi 8 is circular. And you said, well, Hammurabi 8 is false, and you haven't proven that.
No. We were talking about Himawari back then, Daryl. Seriously.
Say it again, please.
We were not talking about the Himawari back then. We were talking about field of view. And I asked you a question. If you looked in a circular vision, well, if you looked 16 miles north, east, south, and west, what would it produce? And using the circle. And I said, yes. So if you took an image of that and you saw 120 degrees of that 360, what would it show? And you said curvature, and I said, I rest my case. That was what I actually said.
You're right.
Right.
And I said I give you that point.
I didn't say Himawari.
No.
Retract that.
No. Let's talk about the whole conversation. Before you even said that, earlier in the conversation, I pointed out that when we're on the Earth,
it's straight. Apologize. I didn't say Himawari.
No, I'm saying I said that. Is what I'm saying.
Yes,
that's what I'm trying to say.
You said that I said it, and
exactly.
I didn't even speak Himawari.
Exactly.
You lied about me.
No. Earlier in the conversation.
No. I didn't. No.
Earlier in the conversation.
No.
I said when you're on the Earth is straight. I said when you're getting higher in the balloon. I said when you're in an ISS even more curve. And I said when it's in a Hammurabi 8.
No. Because I didn't even speak about Himawari back then.
There's a lot of overtalking going on.
Maybe I misunderstood you. Maybe I misunderstood you. When you said it was absolutely debunked, what did you mean when you said it was absolutely debunked?
No.
Let's assume. I'll accept that I misunderstood you. What did you mean when you said you absolutely debunked it?
I debunked you. What?
And my wording may not be precise, but you said you absolutely proved it or debunked it or got that argument or something. What did you mean? Because obviously I misunderstood.
Do you have any proof that the Himawari 8 or the ISS or all this bullshit that you're talking about is actually real and in the medium that you think it's in? Do you have any proof of that?
I just want to stick with this one point. Because he said I misquoted him. I apologize. You did not mention Hammurabi 8, so I'm trying to ask Ranty right now. When you said that you absolutely debunked it or proved that point or what have you, since I misunderstood what you were talking about, what point were you saying you absolutely got?
You said that you could see curvature, yeah? And I'm like, no, you cannot. And you said, yes, you can show curvature from an observation from a balloon. And I said, no, that cannot be true. And then I went through the process of explaining to you how optics work. And if you take a snapshot of a field of view of 120 degrees, you will see curvature. It's just a field of view. It's not curvature, it's an optical effect. This is exactly what I said. I did not say to you anything about the Himawari, but if you want to look into the Himawari, you will understand that it is actually just a CGI image. It isn't real. You will look into it. They even acknowledge this. Let me just finish. They even acknowledge this in their own metadata. They talk about it, how it's just image upon image upon image. They take data from from this radar position here, and they take data from there, and then they put it into an algorithm and they process it, and then they show it you every 10 minutes. That's all it is. It's not a real image. It's not a real image.
All right, so let me apologize for misunderstanding you. A lot of people talking. I'm still learning people's voices. I apologize for saying you said something you didn't say. I remember that being said, and I came back and I said, and maybe I confused who was saying what, but I said I referred back to something I said earlier. Somebody had first asking me, "What proof do you have of the globe?" I said pictures, and I said pictures from satellites, from the ISS, from Himarabi 8. And y'all said that somebody said it was false. I don't want to misquote somebody again. And that's when I had mentioned the whatever flat earther had that proof, and that's why I went to Rob Skiba, right? But my point is that that's not the only image I'm saying proves the globe, and that's why when you said that, I came back and I said when you're closer to Earth, it looks flat. When you're a bit farther away, like in his balloon, you can see a bit of curvature. When you're a bit farther away, like the ISS, you see more. And when you see the Himarabi 8, you see the full globe. And I guess I thought it was you. I apologize. Somebody else
There's
said
one person right now that
Himarabi
just joined the hangout a few minutes ago.
Can I say something?
May I finish this, please?
On Nathan,
I just want to
he can
finish this
take on
exchange
Ranty.
with
He can
Ranty here.
take on Red Pill. I'm trying to talk here one sentence. One person that just joined that
Bob
can
is
take on
retarded.
Nathan,
He can't take
Ranty,
anybody
Red.
on. Bob's
His
a
name is
fucking
Bob
idiot.
the Science Guy.
Bob the Science Guy's a
can take in
fucking
any of you. He's
moron. He
here.
can't take anybody on, bro.
Bob
Bob the Science Guy's an idiot.
Hey, Bob the Falcon Guy, I have a question.
Well, please let me and Ranty finish, please.
No, you guys are talking about metal.
So after that, I said I looked at all. I said the closer to the globe, the balloon, the ISS, the Himarabi 8. Somebody else said that the Himarabi 8 is fake, but now you're saying that the metadata, whatever that he proved it with, I can't pull it up anymore. It's been out so long, and now they're onto us. So whoever said that the Himarabi 8 is false, do you agree that you did not prove that it's false, or do you have some other stuff that we can actually look at and verify?
So basically, like I said before, we're at a stalemate. You can't prove it's real. Because you don't want to believe the stuff that I'm saying, and I'm not going to believe the stuff that you're saying. So it's a stalemate. This is why I say let's stop appealing to low quality. Hang on, let's stop appealing to low quality evidence in the sky that none of us can test or repeat for ourselves. Let's come down to Earth and do stuff like Aristotle's long distance ship observations, things disappearing bottom up. Ranty has done a gazillion observations. I've done some of my own. Nathan Thompson's done some of his own, and there's many globers who have done some of their own. And guess what? Even down to Earth on the shit that we could actually interact with, it's completely inconclusive a lot of the times. It's hard to even know whether or not the Earth is actually behaving flat or round because you guys have to say they're super looming. So I say, why not come down to Earth, bro? Because not even long distance observations prove that the Earth is a sphere. Like down here on Earth.
Are you ignoring Bob the Science Guy, repeat philosopher?
Bob the Science Guy. Bob the Science Guy is retarded, just like you, Jose.
Are you afraid of him? That you don't want to engage?
Yeah, he is afraid of him.
Jose, you're such a fucking troll. You're such an instigating troll, Jose.
No, I just want to keep it real.
You're such an instigating troll. He's here. He can
Hey,
talk.
let me say one thing.
Hey, Jose. He can talk, bro. No one's holding him back. I don't have a mute button. This isn't my hangout. He can say whatever he wants.
Muted.
Let me say one thing about Himawari. I mean, the fact is, the fact about Himawari is that there's a guy on YouTube. He's got a channel. I don't know what it is, right? But he actually compares Himawari images with cloud formations at his freaking house all the time.
Wow.
He compares it.
And that proves I live on a spinning ball.
That's really retarded.
That's
one of the dumbest things I've heard.
That's science. How does Flat Earth explain that science?
So bad.
No, how do you explain it? How do you explain it?
Yeah, I can explain it. All right. Well, according to classical and molecular thermodynamics, space is fake. So we can quit talking about.
Okay. Yep. That's great claim. Okay. That's awesome. Okay. I'm a flat earther now.
All right. So far, all you have is the government showed me pictures of a ball, and they match the clouds I see in space. Now, guys,
I don't think Himawari's. The Himawari is owned by freaking Japan or some.
Yeah,
I don't
all
know,
in
China. Fucking.
Oh, that's even better.
It's not owned by the. It's not owned by the government.
Yeah, well, the metadata
So,
the metadata for the
Yeah.
Himawari website mentions the NASA blue marbles, so they're clearly using NASA to some degree.
In other words, but that's still metadata that we can't pull up ourselves because it's gone now, right?
Hey, let's get back down to earth, guys, because gas expansion into a vacuum makes things.
Seriously.
And I apologize, and I'm about to go, guys. If y'all will give me the opportunity to just answer that question before I go, and I could come back another time. But this is the reason why. What I found happen several times
Be
is
ready
that
for a 10-minute
earthers
farewell.
want to
Go ahead.
dismiss the most blatant evidence and say let's come down to earth, but you haven't disproven that evidence yet. So
not evidence. Not false.
The evidence of the pictures from the Himawari and the ISS and so on and so forth.
Where is your empirical evidence?
Yeah,
where is
science.
that?
Where's your science at?
Where's the scientific experiment that proves I live on a spinning ball right now? Where's that? I don't care about the Himawari pictures and the ISS, man. Come on, man.
Right. Then that means that you're saying let's just disregard the most blatant and direct evidence from people that we've sent into space.
How is that blatant and direct evidence?
You can see them put a camera.
You said it yourself. You cannot reproduce these things from the Himawari, from the ISS. All of this nonsense that you're talking about.
Sure,
you can't even prove.
Guys, don't engage.
Y'all may not accept
get out of here, Daryl.
Y'all may not accept it, but I'm
You
sure
say you gotta go, Daryl. Say goodbye, man.
But they.
No problem. Y'all be cool, guys. I can do something else, guys. Y'all have a nice one.
They accept Eric DeBay and fucking Mark Sargent.
I do all my own observations, way more than Mark, way more than Eric. I don't need any of their material. They didn't
but
tell me the Earth.
You wouldn't be a flat earther if it wasn't for them. So whatever, man.
I was studying applied neuroscience and biochemistry under Michael J. Lavery. He wrote the
book. You need to give that freaking degree back because you must have lost it since then.
Hey, do you guys mind if I ask a quick question?
Go ahead, yes. Bob. You're the man, Bob.
Yes, we might.
All right. Is this mic better?
I can hear you.
Or is this one?
You still sound smug as hell, but yeah.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, right? Bob the Science Guy doesn't know shit. Seriously, I've got an image right now where I was challenging him on a video that he tried to debunk. And basically, the guy did an observation from 1 foot, right? And the observation was pretty clear. He was seeing pretty flat. And then Bob the Science Guy came in and said, if he raised his camera height to 6 foot, he would still be able to see it. He would still be able to see it. I swear to God, right? I couldn't believe what I was actually hearing, right? The guy saw an observation from 1 foot, and Bob said he could recreate it from 6 foot, and he didn't understand the difference. It was fucking hilarious, right? Seriously, look at this. Right, I can go back, I can look at this video. This guy doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. Seriously.
He wasn't even available to. He couldn't even answer his question. You start talking when he wanted to talk, Randy.
Jose, why don't you stay out of it, dude? You say you don't have any play. You don't take sides, Jose, but you sound like a Glover, bro.
Literally, it was the worst rebuttal to any flat earth or any video ever that I've ever seen before. It was like, I can recreate this if I raise my camera height to 6 feet. Yeah, well, of course you can.
I'm the best person to point out the obfuscation tactics presented.
Shut up, Jose.
You're just a Glover.
We just gotta take your word for it.
Shut up, Jose. Right, this was a long time ago. Yeah, me and Bob the Science Guy have got some unfinished business about this. Yeah. Because this motherfucker tried to debunk another flat earther, and he didn't understand that if you increase your height, you can see further. What a fucking dumbwit!
So, Bob, what do you have to say?
Yeah, Bob, what you got to say?
Bob the fallacy guy, where are you, man? Come on, fix your mic.
Yeah.
I'm right here when you start.
Yeah. Talk about this.
Tell Bob to talk and they keep talking, right?
Listen. Bob is always doing the same shit. Bob only talks when everybody else shuts up and gives him a little space. Look, Bob's not royalty. We all talk over each other. Pipe up, Bob. Come on. Otherwise, shut up.
Well, let's see. Let me ask you a quick question. So,
don't ask me a question. Answer the question. Don't ask me a question.
Understanding that Earth is a flat and stationary.
Don't ask me a question. Answer this. You 3 months ago didn't understand the difference between a 1 foot observation and a 6 foot observation. You moron.
Come on, Bob,
I just
answer.
didn't believe it was a 1 foot observation.
Yes, it was a 1.
Ranty,
literally, do you want me to go through and find the video and explore even more? Because you know that you know what was going on right now, and you just ignored me since, right? So get on with it and explain it.
No, I haven't ignored you at all. You just haven't done anything that was worthy of my attention.
Get on with it.
All right, so if the Earth is a flat...
If the Earth, oh my
Formal logical fallacy. Formal logical fallacy. Affirming the consequence.
Is this guy for real?
Hey, somebody's got wind blowing. Mute your mic.
Now, if the Earth is a non-moving flat plane,
if
I am trying to figure out how a gyro compass at any point on the Earth knows where the Earth is. Can you help me out with that?
Are you talking about a mechanical, a ring laser, or a fiber optic?
No, a mechanical gyro compass. Can you tell me how it always knows where true north is?
That's easy.
We're talking about this.
I got it, Ranty. Because compasses work, and we obviously have star movement in the sky, and this is caused because we have a firmament in an electromagnetic field that points north. Compass needles are straight. The meridian lines are straight. I'm getting a little feedback from someone who's not muted, but they're not convex semicircles. A globe with a 9,000 degree molten core would reach a Curie point and would not be able to hold electromagnetism. Scientists like Professor Dan Lathrop of the University of Maryland have not been able to recreate the dynamo threshold ever in the history of time. So the idea that compasses and all this stuff works on a globe is just a fairy tale. You're actually just trying to reverse the burden of proof and not talk about curvature and not talk about rotation, and it's kind of pathetic.
Well, actually, you know the really funny thing about that, Mr. Nathan Thompson, head of the largest Facebook flat Earth group? I wasn't talking about a magnetic compass. I was very clear, a mechanical gyro compass. So why don't you pull that word salad back and try and
mechanical gyros. Does the gimbal base account for any rotation?
Gyro compass. How does it work?
I don't know, Bob. I'm not familiar with mechanical gyro compasses. Do you want to explain how it proves we're on a spinning ball for everyone?
Yeah, very easily. I'll be more than happy to. A mechanical compass has got a spinning gyroscope in it that is restricted in one axis. And as a result, it will precess. And it will precess when on a rotating object to match the axis of the rotation of that larger rotating object that it's on. That's how a mechanical gyro compass, which uses gravity to restrict the axis restrict the rotation in one axis, precesses to match the north-south axis of rotation of the Earth and finds true north.
Well,
and it does that on the Earth, Red.
What the fuck is gravity?
Including the southern hemisphere. You're done.
Hold on. If we were on a spinning globe, a gyroscope with a gimbal base placed on a level table should show the spin of the Earth. If the Earth were spinning, the gimbal base surrounded by the gyroscope would show.
That's required.
It uses a mechanical. All you're doing is affirming the consequence. Saying, look, we have this man-made mechanical gyro compass.
Down to Earth, in practice, in use example of both gravity and rotation. You're done. Now, you don't even know how this thing works.
Electromagnetic fields are not generated on spinning balls.
First, you told me you didn't even know how it worked after you tried to make this about a magnetic compass, and you don't even know the difference between a magnetic compass and a gyro compass, do you, Nathan?
So did they show any rotation?
Yes, that's how they work, you simpleton.
So if you take a time lapse of a gyroscope with a gimbal base, the gimbal base will rotate around the spinning. Oh, really? That's interesting. Yeah. I've got a gimbal base in the house. And it should rotate 1.5. 1.525 degrees within 5 minutes and 15 degrees.
Happen.
So how come you guys all bring up Bob's ring laser gyro if mechanical gyros rotate?
They both do. That's how they work.
All right, guys, you heard it here. Bob the fallacy guy says mechanical gyros, the gimbal base rotates around the flywheel.
Compass, it sure does.
There's 4 8-hour, 6-hour time lapses of gimbal bases not rotating around the flywheel.
The difference between a gyro and a gyro compass, do you, Nathan?
Well, compasses use electromagnetic fields, correct?
Listen, you it is a Sperry mechanical gyro compass. It's not magnetic, you moron. It's a gyro.
So is it a mechanical gyroscope?
Yes.
Or is it a compass?
It is a mechanical gyro compass. It finds true north, not magnetic north, by matching the axis of rotation of the Earth. That's how it works.
Sounds like another parlor trick to me, Bob.
And it's
I know, right?
And then it's just another parlor trick and never-ending series of parlor tricks from the globe. It just sounds like more nonsense, Bob. It sounds like another one of those things where once you look into it a little bit, it turns out it's just complete horseshit. Just typical globe quote proofs. Just ridiculous,
boys. I'm out of here. Thank you.
See you later, Jose.
Wow. Bob had to rage quit. What an idiot. So yeah, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of what's that thing called Foucault's pendulum. And Foucault's pendulum is like, oh, this proves the Earth is a sphere because look at this freaking thing, moving back and forth. And then you look into it deeply enough, and it turns out that it's a complete hoax. It literally proves nothing. But it's all parlor tricks with these people. That's the reason that people are actually questioning the globe because it's bullshit.
Chris, I call it the cult of swinging balls.
Oh,
that's what they're all about.
That's exactly
look,
what
guys,
it is.
I've got a question for you guys.
But real quick, Brant Banshaw, I'll answer your question. But if Foucault was real, then you could never perform a Cavendish experiment. Go ahead, Banshaw.
No. Are you guys claiming that the ISS doesn't exist up there?
Yes, of course. There's plenty of bloopers, plenty of fails, and space is fake. You can't have gas.
Okay. So what's up there, Nathan?
What do you mean? What's up there? A sky and a container with stars, sun, moon.
What can I see?
You see a light in the sky that doesn't respect the inverse square law because it doesn't diminish as it goes towards the horizon, and it's visible for 6 to 8 minutes while it's allegedly traveling 17,000 miles an hour. So, Bandsaw, you think you can see something that was assembled by men floating in space for 6 to 8 minutes? It was preserved across almost the entire United States.
I'm not saying hey Nathan, hey, hold on. Just pull your head in a little bit, buddy. All right? I'm not saying the ISS is real or fake. I'm just asking a simple question, right? What is up there? Right? I'm doing a lot of investigation at the moment, mate. So pull your head in and don't treat me with some disrespect, okay? I'm asking what's up there. Yeah. Okay then, right? I downloaded the app, right? Because I've got into this debate and all that sort of stuff. I downloaded the app to predict what I can see at certain times from where I am, right? Now, that app that I've got is very accurate. Now, I've been fortunate enough to have some viewing dates, right, where I've actually clearly been able to see a light in the sky. Now, obviously, I can't make out details and all that sort of stuff, but there is something that you can clearly see. So I just want to know, do you think what I can clearly see is not the ISS?
Yeah, of course. The ISS is actually filmed in a pool. They use green screens, augmented reality, hairspray, wires, and zero-G planes. So there's multiple different things that you could see. But do we have a minute? Whose channel is this? Like, who's running this?
This hangout was created by Chris Berry. But yeah, so.
All right, real quick, I'm gonna present myself. Maybe I'm running the hangout now. So real quick, I have a quick video on the ISS, guys. I'll just play it for you. Boom, share, and here we go. I'm gonna turn the music off so we don't get copyright strikes on anyone if they're broadcasting. But
Nathan, everybody right now, click on Nathan's icon so that it presents.
Yep.
Just in case that we're presenting.
Yep. So this is how they do it. I've met met people from the Natural Buoyancy Laboratory, which is allegedly decommissioned. They had wet hair at the time when they're ordering burritos at Chipotle. I confronted them about the flat Earth. They laughed in my face smugly and said, "Oh, you know it's fake because the bubbles, huh? Because the bubbles." And I couldn't believe it. I thought I was supposed to be telling them about the bubbles. And no, they were telling me about the bubbles. So they know about it. Guys, I know because I run the group. People who work for the Defense Department and stuff, they all know it's a big scam. You don't live on a cartoon spinning ball blasting into space. That's why they have bubbles in space, is because they fake it in a pool. Now here's here's green screen with Tim Peake in the background, allegedly manipulating water.
I've seen all this. I've seen all this sort of stuff.
But
to me,
okay,
that doesn't.
So great.
To me, that doesn't prove that space is fake or not, or NASA or the ISS is fake or not. Just because they do that, to be quite honest with you, it really doesn't prove it one way or the other. No, it doesn't.
So wait. So you feel like you're convinced that these people are inside this tin can, traveling around the Earth at 17,500 miles per hour in their khakis, doing interviews with kids.
I don't know.
You believe that that's a real thing?
I've never been up there. I don't know. So
because
how would I know?
People have seen a light in the sky, but that's all it is a light in the sky.
But just because I haven't been up there doesn't mean it's not real. I've never
look at the footage.
Doesn't mean it's real. I just said people have seen it. Yeah, people have seen it and taken pictures of it. There is something up there. But to believe that what we're seeing right here with people in their khakis, with women with crazy shit going on in their hair, and you believe that they're orbiting the Earth at 17,500 miles per hour.
For 20 years, and they assembled that thing in space, guys. How long were they in space without a home to live in while they built this soccer field-sized space station with waters and layers warping and people flying by in the background with harnesses? Then they go on spacewalks and the bubbles 90-degree angles. Like, you guys are living in a dream world where it's cartoon.
I'm not living in a dream world. I'm just looking for
some
facts. That's all I'm
Can you admit that this is all a little bit crazy if you were to be somebody who believes in this shit, right? You look at this and you see these people, they're supposed to be doing a live interview and they just disappear.
To be quite honest with you, I would have thought, right, when I grew up as a kid, doing what I'm doing right this very second would be fanciful. It's like unicorn sort of stuff. But now I'm here talking to people across the world pretty easily, no dramas whatsoever. That's pretty fanciful stuff when I grew up as a kid. So to actually imagine that there is something up there, it really isn't that fanciful if you're being intellectually honest. Well, I actually get sick of these debates where people are, we chase our tails all the time, guys, right? And there seems to be a lot of fucking insults and all that sort of shit thrown around, and it really puts a person like me, right, that's looking for stuff off a lot of this sort of stuff. To be quite honest with you,
no one's doing that here. We're not insulting you.
No, I know that. No, Nathan, I know that. I'm not accusing you, Nathan, of doing that, right? I'm just saying the general debates that you see, or some of them online. Sorry?
Who are you accusing them?
No, well, I'm not accusing anyone here on the panel of doing that.
Well, no. We'll just say it. In general, we're in the open here. We want to know who you are accusing.
Well, to be quite honest with you, the way I see Nathan Oakley carry on his debate forum, I think that's pretty disgusting.
Okay, but I have a question for you. What is one of the most ridiculed groups of people on the face of the earth?
No, we are, but we have to hold ourselves.
Flat earthers are one of the most ridiculed groups of people on the face of the earth.
Nathan, you're a very religious person. Red, are you a very religious?
Don't appeal to religion.
I'm not very
religious. Do not appeal to a religion. Just tell us who you think. Listen, who you think are being disingenuous to their audience. Go ahead.
But we have to hold ourselves higher, guys. We don't have to stoop to those levels and then people might
We
take it
are.
a bit more
What
seriously
level?
sometimes.
Who's stooping?
We
I
are.
don't understand what he's saying, Bansor. Who's
Like-
stooping?
Like when you hear Nathan Oakley, sorry, Nathan, when you hear Oakley carrying on the way he does sometimes, it's a bit of a
Why?
joke.
Because what's he doing? He's
Well,
holding you to account. He's holding you to account.
No, the way he does it in such a condescending, ridiculing.
It doesn't matter
way.
whether it's condescending or not.
It does.
It's the
it
truth.
Does, mate. It does.
Oh,
mate.
so the
It
truth
does.
hurts. It
It's
hurts
got
you to
nothing
be
to do with-
truthful.
But you
Of
can
course
still
it
be.
does.
Yes, you can still be
Literally-
truthful,
oh my
but,
God, right,
but be
literally,
civil.
we-
You can be civil about it.
Hey, Bansal, are you a flat earther or a
Well,
glober?
how long are you going to be civil with somebody as long as they're lying to you?
You can be as civil as long as it takes.
Bansal, are you a flat earther, Bansal?
I believe more in the flat Earth than I do the globe Earth at this particular moment.
So what do you think about globers being dicks? Because there's plenty of them.
Yeah, no, I don't like it. I don't like it, and I've been in plenty of Discord forums and all that sort of stuff where I've had the absolute abuse.
Well, there you go. There you go. Can you blame Nathan Oakley? Could you imagine hosting a debate show? Could you imagine hosting a debate show 7 days a week for like 2.5 years? I mean, you get pretty fucking frustrated with these people after a while too. Like, I just think that's a cheap thing people like to throw at Nathan Oakley. It's just
This
stupid.
is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. Fantastic. Real quick, you give me your opinion about it, and I just want to say what I'm hearing is, hey, Mom, hey, Dad, my teacher at school is really mean. He won't listen to what I'm saying. So nobody has to go listen to Nathan Oakley. There's dozens of other debate channels. You can start your own debate channel. That's what I did. Now I have almost 60 debates. I have almost 60 debates. And there's still no evidence that you live on a cartoon spinning water ball blasting through space. You're not a shape-shifting monkey. It's all just an agenda.
Guess what, Nathan? That's what I've done. I've gone to other channels and stuff like that. That's what I've done. I made that choice. I was just making a general comment. I don't say I watch him all the time. I started to, right, and then I didn't like it, so I switched off. That was my choice. I made that choice because I didn't like the format, and everyone has the choice to do that. 100% agree.
So you were offended by the format rather than the content?
Yes. Yeah.
Right. Okay, we got it. Right. Thank you.
Right.
Yeah. Can I ask Nathan a question?
Go for it.
Nathan, you mentioned bubbles making a 90-degree turn. When have you ever seen that underwater?
I actually got it in my video. It's part of the video I showed. They showed bubbles making 90 degrees turns underwater. It happens when there's water current under the water. So I'll show you it happening not on an ISS video, just with someone floating underwater in space. Then you can go on your merry day knowing it actually happens in pools. 1 second.
The reason why I ask is because on your Facebook group, somebody had posted a video, and there were several bubbles in it was a video of the ISS.
All right, so I got the video up.
There were several bubbles in this ISS video, and they were going in all directions.
Boom. So I got the video back up. I'm going to show it with you guys. They probably do go in all directions. The fact that there are bubbles not going one direction, because they say that these are particles of dust or whatever that flakes off the ISS. It's been up there for 20 years, dodging other satellites and meteor showers and calculating for all the gravity while we're blasting through space. But look, guys, it happens underwater right here. Can everyone see my screen? Am I presenting to everyone?
Yeah.
All right, great. So that's one example of it happening underwater. There are hundreds of examples. I won't go into hundreds. I'll just show you one. 90-degree turn, boom, right there. It's simply water currents underwater. So you can't see them with your eyes, but they're there. It's like the wind, because the air is like a fluid. Why it separates out into like a density column, a gradient, is because deeper you go underwater, the more pressure you have above your head. It's called fluid statics. It explains this phenomena and when water's at rest, the surface is flat and horizontal. There really is nothing else to talk about. People just want to talk about metal boxes floating above their heads. And there's videos of harnesses and green screen glitches. It's just a religion. I got to get going with my day, guys. Any more questions? Because I really appreciate you having me. I just got to drop.
Good talking to you, Nathan. Cheers, man.
Later.
For sure. Please join the official group. Chris, thanks for sending me a link. I love all you guys, what you're doing. Chocolate, you my man. Ranty, keep up the good work.
Right,
later. Bye-bye.
Easy, brother.
Peace, Nathan.
So what's up, Alan? What's up, bro?
Hey, I got something to add for you guys if you're interested. So my name's Alan. I have a channel called Flattening Atheism, and I just jumped in a few minutes ago. So sorry if I don't know everything you guys have been talking about. I don't know how long you've been on, but in case anyone's curious, I'm the guy who has a website called challengetheflatearth.com, in which I'm pledging $5,000 to the first person to bring me the fully detailed,
nobody's curious,
verifiable. I'm sorry?
Yeah, I'm just saying nobody's curious, really.
Well, I would find that people probably are curious for $5,000, but if you wouldn't mind letting me finish, I'm sitting on $5,000 ready to award it to the first person to bring me the fully detailed, complete, verifiable, measurable, and repeatable experiment that shows the world as a spinning ball or a spinning globe. And I've been doing it for a little over a year, and so far no one has stood up to the challenge. So.
Incredible. It's almost like there's no proof of the spinning space ball. Incredible.
Yeah, in fact, and I'm kind of small potatoes guy. From what I've heard, there's another guy out there, if I'm not mistaken, a Marine sniper who has a $50,000 challenge. And then there's another guy who has a $100,000 challenge, who's a surveyor who is waiting for someone to challenge him on I believe it is, I might be wrong, but I think it's Myrtle Beach or whatever is the longest beach in the country, a public beach. And so, yeah, I mean, people who, this guy's saying that no one's curious. Well, I find that a lot of people are curious about large sums of money. So especially with something that's obviously proven as a spinning globe.
Yeah,
so,
I'm sorry, Flattening, but the globes aren't just going to rise to that because they haven't got any proof of it. So, it's going to be a long time
because you would think Globers would be making money all over the place with all these challenges, right?
Yeah.
If we lived on a globe.
Hey, to speak real quick, that Marine sniper is a friend of mine.
Tappy tap, Red Pill, shut up.
Oops.
Red Pill typing away like definitely has the money. He can put it on the table. I've stayed with him at his house. He is a Marine sniper. I've seen his uniform and everything. It's a Coriolis challenge. So if you can prove at a shooting range the Earth has a Coriolis and you use it to calculate a long distance shot, it's $20,000. But you have to bring $20,000 too, because if you don't prove the Earth is rotating, you're giving it over to him. And then the gentleman that put the $100,000 on the table is a land surveyor. Flattening Atheism, you were right. He's from Myrtle Beach. It's the longest strip of public beach in the U.S. Myrtle Beach, 60 miles. He wants to do a leapfrog experiment using geodetic land surveying equipment. And you bring your $100,000, he brings his. He said it's a bona fide offer. Anyone can take it. I can find the video if you need it. Email me, nathanpp.com. And guys,
sorry, whoa, Nathan, can you repeat that again? Because you cut out them. So can you give your email address again?
ppl@yahoo.com. The video of the $100,000 surveyor demanding challenge at Myrtle Beach is located on Flat Earth Doctrines YouTube channel, Nathan Roberts. And then Miguel Michael Angel is a friend of mine. He's the one with the $20,000 challenge. So up on it, bring your $20,000 cash and be willing to lose it if you can't prove the Earth is rotating, because it doesn't rotate under hot air balloons or volcano smoke, insects, balls that you throw in the air. Nothing at all, guys.
Okay, Nathan, one last time. Can you give your email address just one last time for the audience?
Yeah, of course. It's in every video I post in the details. It's nathanppl@yahoo.com.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. And collect the money, Globers. $20,000 on the table, $100,000 on the table. So I love you guys. Red Pill Philosophy. When I clicked out of the Google Hangout, for 2 seconds, the email from you popped up on my screen. So I just want you guys to be careful, if anyone's broadcasting this, someone might have got.
Okay.
I love you guys.
All right.
All right, bro. Share.
All right, brother.
Thank you.
And mine might be a little more attractive to someone who wants to challenge, because you don't have to bring $5,000 for me. I'm just saying, I'm not even interested in debating, the merits of the globe Earth versus the flat Earth. I mean, I am just kind of for fun, but at least with this challenge, all I need is the experiment. I'm not even saying that the Earth is flat. I'm just going to say, if you can show me the evidence that's verifiable, measurable, repeatable, complete, and fully detailed, then I'll hand over $5,000 to you. And it's been all quiet on the website.
You'll probably be holding on to that for a few minutes.
Whoa. Hang on, guys. So we've got a challenge there, right? So can you name your YouTube channel? How can people get a hold of you? What is your email address and what is the challenge, please?
All right. So my YouTube channel is called Flattening Atheism, but the challenge will be found on a website called challengetheflatearth.com. And there's all the terms and conditions available for people who want to read them there. There's also there's an optional challenge that they don't want to do it with scientifically with the Earth. If you can show that the heliocentric model is supported using only the Bible, I will also award $5,000 for that. And you can get a hold of me through the website or through my channel either way.
You must have an email address though.
Yeah, challenge the flat earth. Let me make sure I'm saying that right. challengetheflatearth@gmail.com.
There we go. See, this is better. I mean, people just come and say, "Oh, well, we challenge this and we challenge that," and I'm not saying that that's what you've done. But what I'm saying is that if you're gonna say stuff, at least let people know where they can attempt to tackle the challenge.
Yeah, well, we did. Let me just catch up to speed if you don't mind. I'm looking at the people down here. Chocolate, are you a flat Earth?
Yes, sir.
And Menace 2, I don't know what the rest of it says, but are you flat Earth?
No, I'm a globe earther.
Okay, and Ranty?
Yeah, I might be a flat earther.
Okay.
It's possible.
Yeah.
It's possible.
What gave that away, Ranty?
All right.
Hey, what do you guys say? You think I should put the link public into my live chat, see if any Globers jump in?
Yeah, go for it.
What do you guys? Let me get a few more inputs. What do you guys say?
Hell yeah! It's nearly 5 a.m. and I've had 14 pints, 2 pairs.
What are you doing awake, Ranty? You're fucking crazy.
Well, I've got a couple more questions for you, Ranty.
Yes.
Yeah.
I might be a little slow in answering, but that's all right.
That's all right, mate. I'm in a stage here, and the blood's rushing to my head. So, what would you consider proof? Who's typing?
God, I'm so sorry, guys.
That's Red Pill. He's got some heavy fingers. Proof.
All these photographs and all that sort of stuff that get debated day in, day out, with super duper looming and
Sorry to cut in real quick, guys. This wasn't my original hangout, and so I don't have controls. So if somebody, I don't even think you can eject people here. So if somebody comes in and they just start making noises and we won't be able to do anything about it, and we would just have to end the stream. So we have to end the hangout. So it would be a bit of a gamble if I put the link out. So again, what do you guys want me to do? Like, we might have legit Globers join. We might have some guy join who just plays static full blast, and there's nothing we can do about it.
Yeah.
Well, maybe if we can just run with this for a couple of minutes, and then
we'll just
and then go for it. How's that sound, Red?
Yeah, sure. All right, man.
Yeah, cool.
Either that or ask them to email you for the link, and then you can sort of filter it out and make sure the usual suspects aren't coming in.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Chris, hey Chris, real quick question, man. And this was your original hangout. So if I made the link public, that means anyone could join, and if they wanted to troll this shit and like screw it all up, they could do it, and we can't even eject them, right?
Chris, you're muted.
Fuck. You're muted, Chris. Fuck. Forget it. Just keep going, guys. Maybe I'll put the link out. Just keep going.
All right.
So who are you asking? What evidence would suffice? Who are you asking that to?
Well, maybe the panel in general. Like I see a lot of arguments going on. Photo, you put a photo up, and there's bloody looming miraging and super duper looming and all this sort of stuff. And photos are very can be interpreted so many different ways. All right, and I think analysing a photo is just a dog chasing its tail. It doesn't prove anything.
Yeah,
yeah.
Here's what I was doing, at least on my website. If it's fully detailed, complete, verifiable, measurable, and repeatable. So, and I say on the website, if it's all this stuff, be prepared for the recommendation that it's repeated by you and me. Like,
yeah.
If it's
but the trouble with a photo, though, if it's something
that can only be done in a $50 million lab on some worthless university, it's really shaky ground. Like if it's something where it's a weather balloon, then yeah, we can repeat that or whatnot, you know. So it's
yeah. But what I'm saying is a photo itself, right?
Not good enough.
Sorry.
Well, but for all those reasons,
yeah, no, a photo itself. Yeah, not good. So what sort of proof are either the globers or the flat earthers trying to establish here, right? Because we all start talking about proof, but no one side has got 100% either way. We've got to be honest about that. There's no 100% either way. We all have what we think it is, what we accept it is, and we're comfortable with the way that sort of goes at the moment. Like these measurements, like I'm in Australia at the moment, and I'm thinking about doing a trip to Lake Eyre early next year. Right now, Lake Eyre is Australia's biggest inland lake by far. It's about 2,000 square kilometres. All right, it's absolutely massive. Now, taking some photographs of Lake Eyre or measurements, I'm thinking about doing some sort of measuring sort of thing. Okay, over Lake Eyre. Okay, then, and thinking about putting some pontoons that have an adjustable tube in them that's on a float, right? So that float sits on top of the water, and you've got markers about maybe 3 or 4 meters high. Now, you're
overcomplicating whatever you're trying to do. Right now, you just are pontoons with like release valves that can reduce the height of the fucking the boat. I mean, seriously, if you looked at Sly Sparkane's video and how he tried to do his observation, it was terribly complicated, and you're doing the same. You literally need to go back to basics, try something a little bit simpler. Seriously, this is a little bit of advice.
Yeah, if it's something as obvious and simple as proving the world is a spinning ball, it should be a simple experiment. It's as simple as showing that water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. So what if I could turn the question around? How, if someone were to ask me, well, what will suffice as evidence for me? I would say, well, what would suffice as evidence for you that water boils at 100 degrees Celsius? Most people would say, well, I'm just going to record it. I'll record the whole thing, and then we'll do it again together. Bam, you got $5,000. So same thing. If you have an experiment that can be done, fully complete, detailed, measurable, verifiable, and able to be repeated by the person I'm talking to and myself, I'll hand you over $5,000.
What's your definition of scientific experiments? Is that like Nathan Oakley quantum eraser crap, or
no? Just what I said. Basic science, fully detailed, complete, measurable, verifiable, and repeatable.
Ranty, that Sly Sparkane experiment you talk about, that's the one with the tubes in it, and he's
it was seriously.
No, 100%. I 100% agree with that. And also too, the tubing he's using is way too narrow. It's got way too many variables in it.
I agree.
Yeah, 100% agree. He needs piping that's 900 mil or 1200 mil in diameter to get any sort of accuracy over that distance, right? I 100% agree with that. Now, my actual experiment's a little bit simpler. You say it's more complicated. No, it's actually a little bit simpler, right? Making pontoons, and they're quite easy to make out of foam cores, making a tripod that floats. In the middle of that tripod, you have a bit of stormwater pipe, right? Now, in that stormwater pipe, I can put another narrower pipe. Okay, then the bottom of that pipe has a buoy on it, which sits on top of the water surface, right? Now that is 3 or 4 meters, and that can slide easily up and down through that center pole, right? And you can put some markers on it. So it doesn't matter where on that lake I put those pontoons, right? It's always going to read the top of the water level, right? Now, as long as those marks from the buoy up to the top are at 3 meters or 4 meters or whatever the marking is, right? It's always going to be 3 or 4 meters above the surface of the water level, right? And now, because the lake is so shallow, right, at the deepest sometimes I think it's 2.5 meters, you can whack some anchors in there. You can put 4 or 5 markers along, right? And all those markers are there. They're all 3 or 4 meters high. You can go to the shoot.
If you could draw it out and just show us a picture real quick.
Oh, I can't. I'm on my phone, mate. I'm on my phone.
Yeah,
I can't.
you're gonna lose everyone listening to this.
Okay, Bansor. So
yeah.
let's suppose that we saw further than we should. Would you say it was standard refraction?
Well, see, this is the stuff I got about vision. Vision works in a really complicated way.
No. Listen, it's a simple question.
Right.
If the results showed that it looked flat, would you say that it was standard refraction that was the issue? And that's why we were seeing it.
Well, Ranty, I don't really know enough about standard refraction, to be quite honest with you.
Okay, so essentially, if you are trying to look at somebody behind a hill, right? So there's somebody on the other side of the hill and you're trying to see them, and then you can't see them, you know, because they're behind the hill, but then for some reason, you know, atmospheric conditions allow you to see that person. They are literally raised up behind the hill, you know, by some kind of osmosis or something. You know, they are shown to you. Can you say that if you saw the same phenomena on a observation, that if you saw something that you shouldn't see on a globe, that was a holographic projection lifted up from behind the curvature of the Earth into your line of view? Like a mirage, you know, it's there. It's not really there, but it's there.
Well, yeah, I see mirages all the time in the middle of the
Yeah, but it's not there. It's not there. It's lifted up. It's a hologram. It's not there. Yeah. Right. You're looking at something and it's not there. It's behind the curve. Right. So if you did this, if you went through all this, if you went through it all, and you got to the process where you determined that, okay, we see flat. Would you turn around and say, no, that is refraction that was allowing us to see this?
Well, no, I wouldn't say that.
Really? Because every glober in the world would say that was the case. Because every observation of a flat, stationary plane where we see for 10 miles, 15 miles, 20 miles, when we see things in the distance that we shouldn't see, every glober comes around and says, well, A, that was standard refraction, B, that was super standard refraction, that was C, superluming standard refraction, yeah? All this kind of 7/6R bullshit, right, that's put into the fucking curvature calcs and say, oh, yeah, we can see this because it's lifted up as a hologram, yeah?
Yeah, it's just all excuses, man. It's just all nonsensical excuses.
To be quite
honest, all it is, man.
We see what we see. We see it because it's there. It's
exactly.
There. You know.
Well, I never thought about the curvature. I never thought about the curvature of the Earth until quite recently, until this whole thing came around. Never even popped into my head, even when I was a kid, right? And I was quite fortunate. I spent my teenage years living near the ocean, right? And you'd see ships, right? And then all of a sudden they'd go out of sight. As a kid or a teenager, I never thought to myself, oh, they're going over the curve, right? That never popped into my head, ever, once. Now, like now with this whole debate going on, it's like all these things are popping into your head. It makes you think a little bit more. Oh, okay, then what is exactly happening, right? And you do a little bit more investigation. Wow. I'm actually really glad I got into it because I've actually learned a lot about a lot of different things that I knew nothing about before, never even thought about. But I'm still not actually convinced one way or the other. Like there's no one thing that like just smashes it out of the ballpark on either side. On either side, like we can talk about the ISS or the bloody Hawara
there is
satellite or whatever the case may be,
18.3 miles.
What's the one thing that smashes?
18.3 miles. Listen. I was down at the beach.
Yeah, I'm listening.
I saw the Barrow Town Hall, the lighthouse, everything from 18.3 miles away from 1 foot in observation. My elevation above the water was 1 foot, and I saw the complete shore-to-shore observation that I'd always been looking for.
Yeah, those are slam dunks, pretty much.
Absolute slam dunk.
They do make you ask questions. Oh, Nathan.
I had to pop back in because Bob, the fallacy guy, was talking about gyro compasses. Red Pill, are you there, bro? I had to research this a little bit more. A gyroscope, not to be confused with a gyro compass, is a spinning wheel mounted to a set of gimbals so that the axis is free to orient itself in any way. When it's spun up to speed with its axis pointing the same direction, due to the law of conservation of angular momentum, such a wheel will normally maintain its original orientation to a fixed point in outer space, not a fixed point on the Earth. Since our planet rotates, it appears to a stationary observer on the Earth that a gyro compass's axis is completing a full rotation every 24 hours. And then it goes on to say, guys, that this friction force that they use for the gyro compass is caused because the axis, it turns in a direction orthogonal to the torque along a line of longitude, which once the axis points towards the celestial pole, boom, there you go, dude. So they navigate again.
Go ahead.
They navigate again using the celestial pole, and which is always stationary. They don't navigate. This thing will never hook up to Sigma O or anything in the southern hemisphere. It's all based on a northern pole star, dude.
So it was another parlor trick from Bob the science guy, the fallacy guy.
Yeah, dude. And then what he's going to do is they're going to edit it out and claim victory, even though they don't understand their own arguments. And it's freaking 4 years into this now, and they still present arguments where they don't understand that they assume.
Well, it reminds me of when you and JM Truth were debating Fight the Flat Earth and Team Skeptic, I think, and Craig from Fight the Flat Earth brought up some device that allegedly proves Coriolis, and it turns out that the device is just built in, presupposing Coriolis is even happening. And Fight the Flat Earth actually had to concede that he got it wrong, and that JM Truth, a flat earther, was right. And it was so hilarious to see that concession.
Yeah, it's called a mass flow meter, and he fought for 45 minutes on non sequitur, saying that was proof of Coriolis. Then he came back and said, "I'll concede it's the Coriolis force inside of the pipe. It's not actually a Coriolis force caused by the rotation of the Earth, because there is no Coriolis force caused by the rotation of the Earth." So when I debated Conspiracy Cats, he talked about hurricanes and had never even heard of an electromagnetic wake. Look up Physics Girl. She runs a plate over the surface of water. Now, air has a lot of properties that are very similar to water. The pool creates a vortex with what could be storm cycles rotating in opposite directions, diverting from the plate outward. So it's exactly what we observed. And the pool is not rotating in this example, guys. It's just a plate moving above the surface of the water, similar how the sun and the moon could drag the atmosphere. So it works just fine on a flat Earth, dude. These guys have nothing.
Yeah, it's just parlor tricks. That's all it is. Just parlor tricks, man. That's all they got. Little tricks, and then once you look into it a little bit deep, you're like, yeah. This is just piss poor evidence as always.
You don't have to look any further than that. You just need to look at the censorship that's going on.
You know what? Let's be honest. That's why Bob the science guy had to run away like a little girl. He ran away because he didn't want us to start looking into his proposed evidence and maybe start tearing it apart. It happened just the other day on Jose's show. Me and Chris Berry were Bob the science guy. He had his mic drop slam dunk proof, and it was half the mountain is missing. That's because the Earth's curvature is blocking it. And then me and Chris Berry started asking questions about his slam dunk mic drop proof. We're like, is there any compression taking place caused by refraction? Any of these variables taking place? By the time we were done, dude, fucking Bob the fallacy guy was on the ropes and shattered to pieces. It was absolutely hilarious. So all they got are mic drop moments, and they hang up and they run away, so you can't refute it and actually pick it apart. It's desperate. It's desperate. That's what it is.
Chris, yeah. Bob the fallacy guy, sure. He tried to do a debunk of an observation of a flat earther who did an observation from 1 foot. Yeah, he saw an oil platform some 10 miles away, and he'd calculated it all, and he said that if he raised his elevation to 6 feet, it would match, right? And he didn't understand the consequences of raising from 1 foot. The observation was from 1 foot, right? But he had to increase his elevation to 6 feet to make it match, right? And he didn't understand it. It was like, and this is why I'm so incensed with this lunatic, this Bob the fallacy guy, because he doesn't understand. He doesn't. He just doesn't understand. He literally just doesn't understand the difference between somebody doing an observation from 1 foot and 6 foot, and he thinks that they should just match. All he had to do was just increase the elevation to 6 feet, and it matched the observation. It was so ridiculous. It's still on this channel.
Wait, I don't understand. That was the crescendo of his argument that he could just raise.
Yes. Yeah. So what he did, he looked at an observation. So some guy did an observation of a distant platform, an oil rig, and he gave his elevation details. It was all in the video. It was 1 foot above sea level, and then Bob the fallacy guy went and put those calculations, that 1 foot calculation in, and it didn't match. So what he did is he kept increasing his elevation height. So he went to 2 feet, 3 feet, 4 feet. Eventually he got to 6 feet in elevation, and then it matched. Then it was like, okay, only 20 feet of this should be missing, and he was able to match it up to the observation, and he released a video about it. Seriously, I literally can't tell you how poor this video was, because he didn't understand what he was doing was literally flat earth proof. Seriously, flat earth proof.
Yeah, but
you
Ranty,
guys
also,
sorry.
In all fairness, Ranty, the majority of flat earthers believe that Coriolis effect means that the Earth should spin under a balloon or a helicopter. So
yeah,
I mean,
that's
there's
what
both
Coriolis
sides.
effect is.
There's both sides that aren't understanding what they're talking about here.
Well, we're going to need to define Coriolis, because the definition of Coriolis is a pseudo force that says when matter enters into the Earth's atmosphere and leaves the Earth's surface, it is in a secondary reference frame, rotating above the Earth. That's why they claim the Coriolis effect affects sniper bullets. Now, also, Ranty, 2 things I want to mention about what you said. When these people all do observations above sea level, they're not taking into account wave shoaling. Now, in shallow water and parallel depth contours, non-breaking waves will increase in wave height as a wave packet enters shallow water. So yeah, they might be 1 feet above the sea level, but that wave that's coming towards them is getting pushed up by the topography underwater. And then the second thing is Metabunk just changed his curve calculator to say you can't do curve calculations over water. How ridiculous, dude.
You guys said actually just before when we were talking the ISS, and I said, I see a light, and you go, it's just a light type of thing. What about the channels like Jeranism, where he's a flat earther, but he's actually photographed the ISS, and it looks pretty much like what we're showing. It looks
something's up there, but is it to scale?
The
scale that they tell us that it is. The scale. Can you prove the scale is the scale that they say it is?
Well, no.
He just saw a light in the sky.
Sorry,
that's it. He saw a light in the sky. That's all he saw.
No. Something is genuinely up there.
Yeah.
There is an object up there that can be tracked. Genuinely.
Yes. Yeah.
And at what altitude? At what altitude?
Yeah. Yeah. The photo I saw wasn't a light. It was an actual shadow in front of the moon that looked very much like the ISS.
Right. Okay. So, can you prove the distance to that? Object that was up there. So it was an object.
It's an object that's up there.
There's an object there. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, but it's been actually photographed quite a few times, not just
yes,
by Jeremy.
I agree.
Quite a few
Lots
times.
of people have seen it, and I absolutely fully agree that it is up there. But
okay then.
Can you determine the distance?
No, not at all.
Right.
No.
So can you determine the width?
No, I can't. No.
No. So nobody can.
No. No,
Right.
I'm not saying that you
So
can.
what's the
I'm just
point?
saying that they're saying. I'm just saying that it's fake and not up there is.
No.
I think it's.
I don't think any flat earther will say that the ISS is a fake, as in like. Well, okay. So what we see inside the ISS that is portrayed to the Earthlings, all these astronauts inside the ISS performing all these tricks. Okay, that is fake, right?
Yeah.
But there is an object up there.
Okay, then. So the ISS itself, the physical body, isn't fake, but what's inside the ISS.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, like I said, I don't know one way or the other. I'm just trying to get some.
Bandsaw, how many people built the ISS, which is the size of a soccer field, when it was in space?
Nathan, I've got no idea, to be honest with you, mate.
Okay. How long did they take to build it?
A bloody long time.
You have no idea. Also, there's no real pictures of them building the ISS in space while they traveled 17,000 miles an hour without a home to live in.
Well, I reckon it'd be pretty hard to videotape the whole building of the ISS. In all fairness, that'd be a pretty hard feat.
So it's not hard to. So let me get this straight. It's not hard to build it up there, but it's hard to video the building of it up there.
Well, I don't. No.
See, this is just like the other guy who said that they could not fake it. They didn't have the technology. No, I'm not trying to come at you, but I'm saying like this is the type of questioning that sometimes you have to turn on itself, right? Because this is just like the other guy who said, oh, they could not have faked the moon landing because they couldn't fake it. So you're telling me they didn't have the technology to fake it, but they had the technology to get there? I mean, more than two brain cells thinks like that? You know what I mean?
I'm not saying that at all, but I don't actually think at the time when they were building it, they thought, oh, we better have another astronaut up there with a VCR on his shoulder or film. I don't think they actually.
Oh, it's costing $60 billion. Let's not take a camera up there just to show what we're doing. Let's not just film it. Let's not show the president about what we're spending all this money on.
Look. We know how human beings are, right? When we build something, we videotape it, we take pictures of it. There are time lapses of all these buildings being built. I mean, that's how we do things. So if we're going to do something as incredible as building a space station in space while they're in space, I think somebody's going to take a picture of it, or two, or three, or maybe HD video or something. Because again, this was built after, right? I don't remember the exact year it was supposed to be built. I know it's been up there for 20 years now, right? So before that, I don't know. In '69, we went to the moon and back, 6 times between '69 and '72. So we at that point we can't take video of the ISS being built.
Well, that's
it makes no sense.
That's just what's kind of making some assumptions. Like I don't like to make assumptions about anything.
Forget the human side. Forget the human side, yeah? Just look at it from a scientific point of view, right? Everything would need to have been recorded. It's as simple as that. Everything would have been.
Wow.
If you're spending $1 billion on something, you want to record it. So you want to have as many different cameras, filming this stuff to actually, collect the data, because that's what it's all going to be about. It's going to be data collecting. It's the same as what I do. So essentially, you're not going to send somebody up to build the ISS and not take any goddamn pictures of it.
Yeah, it would be a safety precaution too. Imagine if something goes wrong and NASA can't see anything going on. They have no clue what's going on up there. I mean,
exactly.
There's
And then it falls out of orbit and then, you know, crashes into some city. I mean, come on, man. Safety, guys, safety.
Exactly.
Come on.
Everything, you know, I mean, there's so many reasons as to why you would want to take pictures and
Hey,
want
can
to
y'all hear
take
me?
videos.
Yeah, what's up, Parker?
Yeah, we hear you.
There's
Like,
Okay, so making
video
sure.
of the ISS being built.
There's
dude.
no
There's
reason
video,
why
there's
you
photos,
wouldn't.
there's time-lapse photos. Like, what are you guys talking about?
There's
exactly. Time lapse.
There's
Of
video
what?
of the ISS pieces being put together. I don't understand what you guys like. Is it just because you don't believe it's real?
What?
We know it's not real. We know it.
All you got to do is Google ISS construction, and there's
Oh,
all kinds
just
of videos.
Google.
Oh, there's
Just because you don't believe it doesn't mean that the videos aren't there that you're saying should be there.
Did you take them? Did you take the pictures?
No, wait. I want to see them. There are pictures. Let's see them.
Okay. Did you take the picture?
No, I think now we're moving the goalposts on them.
No, just Google ISS construction and click videos on Google, and there's like all kinds of different time lapses.
Well, you've got share screen. Go do it.
Now, I'm not saying you guys are going to believe them. You guys might
go
say
get
they're
them.
fake, but
Go
that
get them
wasn't
right
the
now.
question.
I got them up. I'll show. It's all good. One sec. Let me show you guys what came up when this gentleman told me to look up ISS construction.
Okay.
Okay. So
I'm looking forward to this.
Which one is this? Which one are we looking at? That's going to be the real one.
Click the videos tab.
Wait a minute. So the entire construction is the fully, you know, operational ISS. Apparently,
it's all done in this. Yeah, the
Are
soccer
you fucking
field.
kidding me?
The soccer field is complete in this stuff, guys.
Holy.
With the giant freaking black solar panels that shine like a firework when the globe heads look at it on the tracker system. I mean, give me a break.
Wait, so are you saying that the ISS was constructed on the ground in plastic? Isn't the ISS as big as that?
Kidding me?
No, what I'm saying is metal boxes don't float above your head in a vacuum that doesn't exist.
But isn't the ISS like as big as a football field? So they launched something as big as a football field in space?
Well,
no, they took it up there in pieces and built it up there, right?
I'm losing brain cells right now.
Look at this helicopter.
Yeah, seriously.
Look at this freaking helicopter. ISS helicopter, dude. What is this thing, dude? Come on. People believe this stuff's real. Look at this docking.
ISS helicopter.
Look, they think they docked the plane to something going 17,000 miles an hour. Imagine trying to dock something to a bullet fired from a rifle. Okay, now magnify that bullet 10 times, and then try and hit it with people inside. That is that is such a joke, dude. Yeah, we're gonna fire at a bullet going 10 times freaking what its normal speed is, and we're gonna land on it and then play with water.
Well, they land aircrafts on aircraft carriers pretty successfully.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah, in a medium that exists, the atmosphere.
Well, there's a medium
So why
up
can't
there.
space exist, Nathan? Let's talk about this. Why can't space exist?
Well, it's not that it can't. There are no real photos of space existing, and no one can demonstrate gas pressure without a container unless they point at the sky and say, look, it's a vacuum.
Okay,
Why can't, whoa. Why can't space, wait a minute. Why can't space exist, right? Okay, so space is a vacuum, and the atmosphere of the Earth is not a vacuum. What do you think happens between those two, opposing forces, let's say?
Okay, so thermodynamic laws state that the high pressure always flows into the low pressure, correct? Which is the flat Earth argument against space, right? However, if you've got 0 psi next to 0 psi, there's going to be no transfer of energy.
Okay, so where does 0 psi meet 0 psi then? What about 0.0001 psi meeting 0.001 of the vacuum of space? What happens?
Where's this vacuum of space come from? Who's Rangy? Where's it coming from?
What do you mean vacuum?
Well,
Google vacuum of space.
Yeah, the vacuum of space, right? But why can't it just be a continuing, graduating medium that goes from the pressure down here and just keeps on getting less and less and less all the way it goes up?
Jesus, wow.
Well, that's what I was trying to get at.
What do you mean, wow? What do you mean, wow?
Pressure at the top
Wow,
of the
what
membrane
was that?
is the
Seriously.
vacuum versus the pressure at sea level.
Can you demonstrate
what
gas
point
pressure?
does this end?
Yeah, you're just saying it weighs less up there. There's less pressure. That's still pressure. So what's it pressing against? A vacuum?
But it can diminish, though, Nathan. It can get less, and less and less, right?
Yeah,
there doesn't have to be. It's like there has to be this definitive line.
Of course it does.
Well, but why?
There has to be a secession. There has to be a secession. Because there does. Because there has to be a secession.
Why?
Yeah, it's not just gradually going to zero, going from positive pressure to negative pressure.
No,
how do we know it's going negative? How do we know it's going negative?
That's false.
Well, because they have to wear spacesuits, and they allegedly have a vacuum at the Sandusky Research Center that's half as strong, but it's 8 feet thick of aluminum and concrete walls, and they do not train in it. They train in pools. So we're just talking about your guys' religious belief in the sky vacuum.
No, it's not a religious belief at all.
Look at this, guys. It's a joke. It's all cartoons. Your entire religion is a cartoon. Space is a cartoon.
I don't have a religion. I'm just asking questions.
I appreciate you asking questions, but there is a point. There is a point when these two opposite forces, they don't meet at an equilibrium. There is no equilibrium between a vacuum and a pressurized system without a container. Held together, literally held together by gravity. Seriously. I mean, you fucking kidding me?
Well, Granty, let me ask you this. Flat earthers have sent high-altitude balloons up to 125,000 feet. They've recorded an atmospheric pressure of 1 kilopascal. So how can we have 103 kilopascals at sea level and 1 kilopascal at 120,000 feet without a membrane between them?
So there is a membrane between them. Wait a minute. So there is a membrane between them.
Wait.
You just said that. Wait. Just
According to your second law of thermodynamics, in its natural state, there's got to be a membrane. Otherwise, the pressure would be equal.
All right. So there's a membrane, right? Okay. Thank you very much. I rest my case.
Yeah, a membrane that Bob Nodal's
the gradient happens because we live
through.
How do we have the gas pressure?
Yeah,
the membrane is a container. Fucking hell.
So are you saying that there is a firmament or something above us, Ranty?
You just fucking said it.
I never said that at all.
Oh, well, somebody did. Jesus.
I never said that at all.
I said, as per the second law of thermodynamics, if we live in an isolated system, then it is impossible to have a gradient pressure.
No, not true.
What?
It's just way above your head. You're just kicking the can upwards and saying things weigh less above my head, but it's still gas pressure.
Yeah, pressure gradients doesn't prove shit. Prove how we have the gas pressure in the first place without a container.
Menace, let me educate you real quick. We live in a closed dynamic system, not a closed static system. It's not a tire. So the inhomogeneous gases in our anisotropic atmosphere are constantly seeking equilibrium, but the temperature is changing and stuff. So we have a gradient. Pretty simple.
So we don't live in an isolated system then?
All gas pressure requires a container. Is a container an isolated system?
Yes, a container is an isolated system.
Hang on, sorry. Who said that then? Who said all gas? Sorry, who said all pressure needs a container?
Nathan.
Gas pressure, not water pressure, but gas pressure needs a closed container.
Yeah,
otherwise,
who said that?
Me.
Who are you?
Nathan Thompson.
Nathan.
Right. Okay. Thank you. Sorry, I didn't. Yeah. Okay.
Love you, Randy. I know it's late there, bro. You're awesome.
Man, it's half 5 in the morning.
Randy, you hanging in there, brother.
My mate was my mate was in a boxing competition tonight at 8 o'clock, PM. So it was like 10 hours ago, and it was out with all my mates, drinking. Still drinking right now. I'm literally still drinking, so I can relax a little bit, but it's all good.
Cheers, brother. Cheers.
I have a question for the people who are still on the fence. Can you guys hear me still?
Yeah, go for it.
Yep.
So for the one, maybe you guys went over this already. I'm not sure, but who here has, I guess you would say, really thought about what it would mean if it was flat? I know Nathan has, but for everyone else,
it is flat. So
what's it mean to me?
Yeah, like why would that be such a monumental? Why would that have such a monumental impact on your life?
Well, the way I live my day-to-day life, it's not going to make a great deal of difference, to be quite honest with you.
Not in your day-to-day.
No. The way I think about things and stuff. You know how the common thought of this ice wall and all that sort of stuff, and whatnot. I've actually, started to ponder the thought maybe there are other lands beyond this.
Other lands, perfect.
Right now, I've got no dramas with that. I've got no dramas with the government lying. I know the government lies to me every single day of my life, right? But there's no point in me jumping up and down about it and ranting about it because it doesn't help me or my family.
Agreed.
Do anything about that. And me actually knowing that we live on a flat plane rather than a big blue potato rock that's spinning through space, at the end of the day, is not really probably going to make a great deal of difference. I'm a spiritual person, not religious, big difference. It's not going to make any difference there either, to me. So to me personally, like I said, the government already lies.
So
right?
Ben, so if I could piggyback off what you just said.
Yep.
What if there was only one single source, one window, one document that described the nature of the world and also claims to be the self-contained authority of that world?
Are you talking about the Bible?
Yeah, there's only one book in existence that has this information. There's a lot of books that claim to have information on what the nature of the world is, but they don't claim to be the authority of the world. And there's other books that claim to be the authority of the world, but they don't have descriptions of the world that corroborate, with what we see in real life. There's only one single document.
You see, to me, the whole Bible thing too, right? There's good things and there's bad things in the Bible, right? But the Bible is used for religion. I'm very anti-religion, I must say. I think
Christianity isn't a religion, but besides all that stuff, let's not talk about.
But the Bible. Okay, let's just stick to the Bible. Fine, let's just stick to the Bible. To me, right, the Bible was written by man, right? There's no. Well, it wasn't written by God. God didn't come down and sit underneath a tree with a pen and write the Bible. He didn't do that.
No one's saying that, but the Bible wasn't written by men; it was recorded by men.
Well, whether it's been written or recorded,
makes a big difference. Makes a big difference.
Okay, then fine. It's been written by man. But you know how many times that Bible has been reinterpreted and rewritten over the ages?
Right, but you're not. Hang on. You're missing the point of the question. Let's not get into what the good parts and the bad parts are, and all the different interpretations and all the different translations and stuff. I'm just saying, does that not intrigue you that there is only one document, one window in this world that describes not only the nature of the world, but also happens to say that it's the self-contained authority? I'm just saying that alone is at least worthy of investigation.
Okay, does it not intrigue you guys that you think that the Big Bang was the instigation for everything that followed?
Say it again.
The Big Bang.
What about it?
That was the instigation for everything that followed. So
well,
everything that followed.
Flat, the Big Bang is impossible.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But you believe in the Big Bang, yeah?
No.
Oh, right. Okay. What do you believe?
Are you talking to flattening atheism? Who are you asking that to?
Poor Ranty. It's like 6 a.m. He's had like 30 beers.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna make Ranty an honorary.
Yeah, thank you, Red Pill. You saved me though. I'm like, holy shit! I'm ready for these guys, but you know, the alcohol's like taking effect in the tiredness. Yeah.
Well, if you talk,
I'm going to go on mute right now.
Well, if you're talking the Big Bang, right, and stuff starting from nothing, that's a pretty big fetch as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
All right. Now, like I said, you know, the whole creator type aspect of it. I don't use the Bible or anything like that, but you know, turned it to my own form of spirituality and whatnot, and thinking that perhaps there is a creator, because I did turn right off it, but I've actually come flip back to the other side. Now, how he created it. Now, if God can create a flat Earth, right, he can just as easily create a globe Earth, in my opinion.
Of course, but there's no document that describes the nature of the Earth in that way.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's no document that describes that and also claims to be the authority, the one who wrote the information about the Earth. My only question is to you, is that at least worthy of investigation?
Well, these ancient writings and all that sort of stuff. Okay, then when you're looking at the stars and the sun, we're just looking at lights, yeah. Right, we'll kind of agree with that. They look like lights in the sky. But the one distinct thing that everyone on the face of the planet can see is the moon.
Right.
Right? Now, to me, the moon doesn't look like a flat pizza dish. Right? It looks like a ball up in the sky. That's what it looks like.
Okay.
So it's not a far stretch from, if we're just looking at stuff that we can see down here and just take the moon looks like a ball, right? So it's not too much to think that maybe we're on a ball too. Like, that's not really a huge jump, guys.
But you haven't actually, if you don't mind, you haven't answered my question yet. Is the fact that these conditions that I gave you in this one document, is that at least enough to say that it's worthy of investigation?
Well, that's why I'm investigating it now. But it's not because but it's not because of the Bible. It's not because of the Bible I'm investigating it.
Well, my claim is that that's the ultimate ending. That's where it's good. This issue of the flat Earth is going to nag away at you like a cavity in the back of your molar until you finally decide you're going to investigate it at its source. And the only document that exists from the beginning, you know, all the way until now, and has those other conditions that I'm aware of in the world is the Bible.
Yeah, but see, it's open to interpretation to the Bible.
Regardless, it still maintains those two positions. And so, I'm not here to push on anyone.
No, I know that, but it doesn't say we're on a flat pizza dish either.
Absolutely.
No.
Well, literally, I think it's called the Matthew's Bible from 1588 or whatever, some year in the 16th century, literally says the flat Earth. But even if you want to not, if you don't want to
give me a reference, can you give me a reference from that, and I can Google it and look into it in my own time.
It's in 2 Samuel. I don't know.
Hold on.
Yeah.
2
Samuel. I don't know the verse off the top of my head, but you'll find it easily enough on Google. And it literally says the words flat Earth.
All right, so this is the book of Samuel, yeah? You're talking.
2 Samuel, yes.
Yeah, okay then.
And but even if you want to, if you don't even want to honor that, there are hundreds of scriptures that at the bare minimum devour the heliocentric model, make the heliocentric model impossible. There's no way to twist it around with anyone's most far-fetched interpretation and tap dancing that you can possibly do. And again, I'm not trying to here to push anything on anyone. I'm just kind of
no. But like you say the Bible was written by man. Well, sorry. Well, yeah, recorded. Recorded. Sorry. Recorded by man, right? Yes. You know how long the Bible is. So did God sit? Yeah, I know that's a bloody long book. Now, did God sit down next to some fellow and dictate this whole Bible to him. Is that what you're suggesting?
Well, in a couple cases, yeah, like in the case of Moses and in the prophets, there's a long list of prophets in there. They received information directly from God, who were given the, essentially the job of going out and, literally word for word, giving the word of God to the kings at the time. But
Hey, Nathan, I have a question too.
This conversation with everyone. I'm just asking the question.
Nathan, I have a question for you.
Yeah, that's cool.
So I used to be pretty hardcore skeptic, and then I saw some prophecies in the Bible that seemed to have come true, but they were in the Old Testament, and I'm really kind of skeptical of the New Testament. So I'm guessing like you believe that the Bible is true from like Old and New Testament, right?
Yeah, it's a book of true stories.
It's a book of true stories. Okay. So my question is, would you agree that God is merciful?
Yes.
And he's always been merciful?
And he's loving too, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if he's merciful, why do we need Jesus to die for our sins?
Because you're a sinner.
But can he just forgive our sins instead of having somebody die for our sins?
I mean, he could do whatever he wants. It's his plan, not mine.
Well, what's interesting is you mentioned that you, in a sense, you're honoring the Old Testament. You just answered your question with pretty much all of the information that's included in the Old Testament when it comes to having to make sacrifices with animals to replace, the human requirement. And so God needed a human to do the sacrifice that couldn't be done by animals. And so, I mean, again, I don't want to monopolize the conversation with a big, long history lesson of the Bible, but if that helps at all, that's kind of your short.
Well, I mean, I agree that sometimes they did sacrifice, and that was just, but different sins had different consequences. So, I mean, God doesn't necessarily. It shows that God doesn't necessarily have to make somebody sacrifice to be merciful and to forgive somebody for their sins. So, I'm just curious, like, why is Jesus a necessity? Like, why can't I just say, well, God's a merciful God, and I just pray to Him for forgiveness?
Okay.
Plan.
Yeah, the short answer to that is his mercy is all of these things that he's doing to kind of help us catch up, because he's dealing with all of these clumsy humans, and all of them deserve death, but he's trying to make a pathway possible for us to be reunited with him.
Yeah, I got a good question for you, part-time. In the New Testament, Jesus spit in the sand, and then he rubbed it in a dude's eyes and healed him from his eyes. Now, did Jesus need to spit in the sand and make paste and put it in the man's eyes? No, he could have probably just said, be healed. But I think the point of that was just to show he's God, dude. He can do whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He'll literally just be like, all right, I'll heal you from blindness, but here's how I'm going to do it. Like, make a little paste. You know what I mean? So what no one else can do, Jesus can do with his loogies. You know
So I'm guessing you would say Jesus is God?
Yeah.
I would say Jesus is God. Not just that, but his ways are higher than ours. So 5 years ago, if I would have told you, hey, dude, you're going to be having a conversation about God, Jesus, in a group with a bunch of flat earthers, you'd be like, that's so stupid.
Yeah.
Never believed that. But here you are, real time.
Yeah.
Well, part-time, real time. But also, for Bandsaw, you said that the moon looks spherical. Bandsaw, do you know what a specular highlight is?
Is that like a hot spot you're talking about?
Specular highlight is basically like a hot spot, optical hot spot, is where the light focalizes. All balls that reflect light have a specular highlight. Now you have another problem with the heliocentric model, other than the lack of a specular highlight. The moon is appearing full during the daytime, and its light source is behind it, 90 million miles away. Tell me how that works.
Is behind it?
Yeah, the moon is only 230,000 miles away on your model.
No, it's not my model. It's not my model.
That's the globe model, Bandsaw.
Yeah, I know, but you said your model. It's not my model.
I apologize. On the heliocentric model, how can the sun, which is behind the moon, illuminate the moon, the face of it? What's funny is this goes right along with what flattening atheism was saying. The moon is a light in the Bible. So I can use science to debunk the heliocentric model. We don't need to talk about scriptures that you don't believe in.
The sun isn't behind the moon on the heliocentric model. What are you talking about, Nathan?
Yeah, like I've seen the moon in the sky heaps of times in the middle of the day, and you can see the moon and you can see the sun. It's not behind it.
How far away on the heliocentric model is the sun? 93 million.
Like 93 miles away or something. I don't know. Yeah. And the moon's like 250.
Yeah. So how's the sun, which is behind the moon in a daytime? You're looking up on the heliocentric model when you think you're standing sideways on a ball that's tilted flying through space. The sun and moon are both visible, and the front of the moon is illuminated by a sun that's allegedly behind it.
How can it be behind it if it's
just because
if they're both in the
sky
at the same time? If they're both in the sky at the same time, it's not behind it.
The sun is 90 million miles away, and the moon is not. So it is behind it.
No, it's further away.
It's just further away. It's not behind it. If it was behind it, there'd be like an eclipse.
Oh, who just heard this? Who on the panel with a brain cell?
Nathan, let me.
Hey, don't go the brain cell path, buddy.
Wow.
If you're in,
you gotta listen to me real quick. What you're saying?
If you're in Cali and you're looking out towards New York, Chicago is off to the side of New York. California's not behind Chicago. It's just further away than Chicago is to New York.
Yeah. So, okay. Well, let me change. If the sun is further away than the moon, how's it illuminating the entire face of the moon, which is much closer to us, facing us, and not facing the sun?
But it is facing the sun.
You
can see them both up in the sky.
In the sky, the moon is a round spherical object.
How can the side that's facing us during the daytime also be facing the sun?
Because you can see it. The sun's on one side and the moon's on the other side, and it's pointing towards the moon. I can see it. I see it all the time. It's not behind it.
Have you ever tested moonlight bandsaw with a laser thermometer?
No, I'm actually that's been pointed out to me. I'm going to do it, but it's supposed to be cooler or something, isn't it, or hotter?
Yeah,
I can't remember.
I did about
one of the
3 years ago.
Yeah.
About 3 years ago.
What's that prove though? The temperature of it.
Well, have you seen a yin and a yang symbol?
Yeah, everyone has.
Of course. Did you know that that's a flat Earth?
No, it's yin and yang.
Yeah.
Does convection not work on a flat Earth, Nathan?
What are you talking about?
Well, if you've got a tree and you measure you wait till the sun goes down, it's nighttime, you measure the temperature under that tree versus the temperature out in the open field beside it.
You have to go watch
a difference in temperature, but that's not because the moonlight's cold. That's because the tree is acting as an insulator. The convection of the heat coming off the Earth is hitting the tree, and it's taking longer to cool off.
Nah. Hey, that's a great point, Menace. That's why there was nothing above the shade when I measured it. The moon was coming in at an angle, and I measured the shadow being projected on the side of the house with clear skies above it. So there was nothing insulating it. You guys are just talking in circles, dude. I love you guys. I gotta go. I'm leaving Bob's house. Go follow Glowbusters. I'll see y'all later. Peace out.
Later.
All right, ciao.
Can I ask one more question about the Bible?
Yeah, go for it, man. Go for it.
Okay, so do you guys, again, like I said, I believe in the Old Testament, but I'm skeptical of the New Testament because I'm seeing a lot of contradictions. So do you guys think that God can break his own law?
Short answer is no.
Okay.
Say that again. Sorry, I dropped out for a sec. Can you say
I'm
that
saying,
again,
do you
please?
guys think that God can break his own law?
I think he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah,
The short answer is no, he won't. But yeah, he can do.
Okay, so Flattening says he won't break his own law. So, do you guys believe in the? I guess you guys believe in the virgin birth.
Sure.
Okay, so if you read Matthew 1:25, it says it's talking about Joseph. It said, "But he knew her not until she had given birth to a son, and he called his name Jesus." So that implies that Joseph did not have sex with Jesus's mother until after Jesus was born. That makes sense? So if that's the case, that means God impregnated Joseph's wife, which means that in a sense, God committed adultery.
No, come on, man. Come on, man.
Jesus was.
Okay. Sorry to interrupt, guys. I'm going to bed for tonight. So that will be the end of tonight's little impromptu stream. For those who joined, yeah, this wasn't even my hangout. I didn't even start this hangout. It was started by Chris Berry. So I just left the hangout. They're still talking. They can talk as long as they want, but I'll be ending the stream right here. Thank you guys. Really appreciate you guys tuning in. Really great. I'll probably be doing more of these. Really should be doing more of these. But I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do with my channel and stuff, because I got demonetized for hate with zero evidence of being hateful. Of course, that's a subjective term, so what does it even mean? Jose, no, you're not getting shout out. You're just a stupid troll. Yeah, so that's basically it, guys. What else is there to be said? Yeah, I'm still trying to decide what I'm going to do here. YouTube actually came out and admitted that they're actually cutting back flat Earth videos in the recommendations by 50%. So if you support or you question the globe or you're a flat earther, they've admitted that they're censoring. And again, that's nothing new for me. They've been deleting my videos, calling it hate speech since 2015. They've been doing it. So they've been targeting my channel openly for years. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. YouTube just went on a freaking purge, demonetizing probably tens of thousands of channels for no reason. Just demonetized completely. Some were terminated. It's crazy. It's like the new apocalypse. So really, it's just so over the top now. YouTube's mental illness that I'm just at the point now where it's just not worth being here. Better off going somewhere else. So I'll see what I do. We'll see. We'll see how it works out in the end. But YouTube is dead. At least going forward, it's dead, because you can't do or say anything without being deemed hate. Unless, of course, it's just you know the double standards and the bullshit. So that's it basically. Pentalica says, "Yep, just follow that money." Again, just the silly conspiracy theories that I'm just a Poe in it for the money. Just conspiracy theories. The truth is that I've really not been making any money on YouTube for a long time, and yes, I've been making some money, but it's basically non-existent. It's so little. So it's not about the money. I would do this whether or not I made money, because I think it's fun as hell. These are fun debates. Say what you will, these are fun. So yeah, it's just that is what it is. Yeah, Pentalica, he's a conspiracy theorist. Pentalica says, "No, I know for a fact that you believe the Earth is flat, but you're still doing it for the money." Anyways, just conspiracy theories. That's it, right? Is that it? Anything else? Thank you to the people who smashed the PayPal link. It's right down there in the description if you guys want to send a little tip. Because again, they disabled the super chat on the channel as well. That's what demonetized me. So no super chats, they completely disabled it. And again, there were so many other channels that saw this. There were like history channels that just talked about history, and they were demonetized. So it was just a complete purge. And they're scared. They're scared of flat Earth. They want to give corporate welfare to globetards, because globetards literally cannot win debates against flat earthers. It's probably it's just the most pathetic thing I've ever seen. So Jose Gigi Gonzalez, maybe you could send a little email to YouTube and tell them, hey man, I got a pro globe channel here. Put me on the trending page, and maybe they'll put you on the trending page, Jose. But anyways, yeah. Basically, I'm a flat earther at this point. I couldn't have been more cautious. I couldn't have put more due diligence in kind of not jumping on the flat earth bandwagon. I spent like 2.5 years researching it before I'm like 95%, 98% flat earther at this point. There's just no way we live on a spinning space ball, and it's not my fault. Yeah. Let's check something here real quick. Yeah. That's it, man. Yeah, bro. It's just that's it. That's what it is. Get woke, go broke. Literally. Literally get woke, go broke. And Danger Man says you're definitely not a flat earther. Yeah, this is just another conspiracy theory. Like a lot of you atheists just have some incredible conspiracy theories. Incredible. We have Bob the science guy, Bob the fallacy guy, Bob the pseudoscience guy jump in with a very petty mic drop moment, and that's his tactic. That's what all their tactics are. Childish mic drop. They come in, they're like, how do you explain this on a flat earth? And then it's something you've seen for the first time, so you obviously want to ask for details and the nuances, but no, they want you to give a quick answer, and if you can't answer, they make it seem like it was a victory, and then they literally run away like little girls, like Bob the fallacy guy did. He literally hung up. In fact, that's when Jose Gigi Gonzalez hung up, and maybe he did that to kind of bolster the effect, to make it seem more impactful. But it's childish, because just the other day, in fact, on Jose's channel, I'll probably upload the highlight from that debate tomorrow. We actually started picking apart Bob the fallacy guy's slam dunk proof, and we tore it to shreds, and Bob was basically crying. So this is the best the globe has to offer. Parlor tricks, affirming the consequent fallacies, rhetoric, nothing but rhetoric, and basically just low quality evidence. Like, where is the direct measurement of Earth's curvature? Why aren't you getting down to the Earth and measuring curve? It's all about, I kind of can't see that building 20 miles away on the water. So that thing I can barely make out. Usually in science, when you want to inspect something and get to the answers, you want to put it right in front of you under a microscope, and you want to study it right there in front of you. But with the globe, they're always trying to push it far away. You can can you see that building in the distance 20 miles away? That thing 25 miles away? That proves we live on a globe, dude. Look at it. It's only 25 miles away from you. You see? Look. There's the proof we live on a globe, 25 miles away. And then they point to the stars. It's all about, it's over there, it's far away. Because they don't want to come down to Earth and actually measure the curve, because it doesn't exist. And that's it, man. There's nothing else that needs to be said. So I think I just got another PayPal. Let me just make sure, because I want to read all the messages. I did get another PayPal donation earlier. The message was, keep up the good fight, brother. Here we have another one. Okay, $10. Okay, great. Anyway, so yeah, really appreciate it, guys. Oh, you just do it for the money. Okay, yeah, you can believe conspiracy theories if you want. But the truth is that you don't make money on YouTube anymore. Like, as far as like a substantial amount, you just don't. You know, you make a few hundred a month, you know, if you're lucky. So yeah, that's it. It's all over. It's all over for the globe Earth. It's all over for the globe Earth. That's in the link, bruh. Come on, bruh. It's not hard, bruh. Yeah, I mean, you know, if you're a glober, you can get away with anything. You know, you can get away with anything. You know, you can, you can elude weird. You can make weird illusions to like, of initiating violence against flat earthers. You know, and the system will support you, endorse you, and put you on the front page. You know, you can say things like, you know, stupidity is not a right, and target that towards flat earthers, and you know, you won't get demonetized. No, no, no. But it's like, well, if it's not a right to be stupid, then what do you do to people who are born mentally challenged? What do you do? It's not a right. What do you? Well, you can't make someone who's born mentally challenged smart again. You can't do that. It's kind of a condition. So what do you do if it's not a right? How do you take away? You see, so it's just weird, kind of like very violent and authoritarian type gestures. But that will probably be endorsed by YouTube because mega corporations want the people to think they live on a spinning space ball. And I don't know about you guys, but I always side with the mega corporations because, you know, they care about the truth, and they care about, you know, just, you know, the little people. So we got to stand with the mega corporations. Hashtag fight the power, and hashtag let's stand up with the mega corporations. Hashtag Pride Month. Every single mega corporation on Earth is got like rainbow banners for their icons this month. But yeah, you know, if you're gay, you're definitely fighting the power. It's so tough being gay in corporate America. Give me a break. And some of these topics are a bit touchy, but I honestly don't care at this point because literally, what is there to lose at this point? YouTube has already drawn the line in the sand. They've already said where they stand. They're going to destroy anybody that has an original thought. That's basically what YouTube has said. That's it. Okay, guys. Thank you guys for watching tonight. I'll see you guys soon. Laters. Oh, and one last thing. None of the there were like no Globers in the chat had the balls to join. They're too afraid to debate flat earthers. So I mean, what does that tell you? They're scared. So weird. Like, yeah. Anyways, later, guys.